can hear the live stream coming through. Waffles, over your mic. No, you're good. We're good. All right, I'm pulling it in. All right, here we go. Welcome. We are in Digicon 12. Waffles and Pete. We're gonna be running the live stream for the next 3 or 4 hours. 4 hours, 5 hours. I don't know. We're gonna keep going until we run out of steam. But we're really excited for Digicon 12. There is so much activity that's already happened on day one, and I captured some footage to kind of recap some fun things that happened there. I'll be putting that up on the live stream here momentarily. But I'm Peter Perez, and I'm joined by Waffles Kitty, aka Sarah, aka Waffles Kitty, who is the amazing host and behind the scenes kind of hardest worker. I know, really, she's just putting in so much time and energy to make Digicon what it is, and we're really glad that you could be a part of this. We're going to be open mic within Digicon itself, so if you want to follow us around while we do interviews for today, you're more than welcome to. You can interrupt us, you can say hello, you can make it fun. If you can make us laugh, I think that's going to be the best way to just be a part of the... Go ahead, we'll play some rock, paper, scissors. Sure, yeah, go ahead. Oh, that's a nice shirt you have there. That's really good. I like the shirt that you have on. That's nice. Oh, it worked. It worked. So anyway, last time I did a little experiment where if I told the person they had a nice shirt, they were going to pick scissors. And then it was a little like, they'll played with their brain a little bit. And I picked rock, and we'll see. We'll see if I can do that again to somebody else. But anyway, I'm not alone. I've got the CEO and co-founder of Splinterlands with me, Aggie. Say what's up.
Hey, how's it going, folks?
I'm glad you could be here for us to help kick this off. Yeah, Long. I really appreciate that. But before we begin, I want to pass it over to Sarah so she can kind of just tell all of you like how much kind of a heart and effort that she's kind of put into Digicon 12. Because again, this is we tend to break records every time that we host this event, either attendance numbers or participation rates or social media. This is clearly one of the unique instances where play-to-earn games get to shine. And so we have, the brainchild Aggie to think about, to thank about that one, because I remember years ago when he approached Inverse, or previously Gamer Jibe, when he's like, hey, what if we did this? And I'm like, hey, that's a pretty interesting idea. Convention for play-to-earn games? I think you might be onto something. And here we are, 2 years later. Sarah, how are you doing today?
Hey, doing awesome. We hit over 1,000 attendees again. We continue to hit record after record.
That's just day one.
Yeah, that's just day one. So hopefully after this, everyone gets all ramped up for the festivities. For those of you guys who don't know, Digicon is a metaverse convention featuring tons of different crypto projects, presentations, giveaways, and most of all, community networking. I do this for you guys. This is like the most fun part of the job. Thanks, Red. Thanks. All right, that's enough now. All right, yeah, this has been hosted bi-monthly. We've barely hit year 2 of hosting Digicon. It's been such a fun and wild ride. We started just like a once every other month event for 3 hours. Now it's 3 full days, 24/7 of people across the world joining us.
And that's quite a footprint. When you create an event, even if it's in person and you want to fill a physical space, you've got some limitations there. But when that means you move things into a virtual world, you effectively get to go global. And so the big, really, the appreciation that we have is for all the attendees and the participants, the sponsors for the event, the Splinterlands team for the effort that they put in on the collectible card game side. Each of you are all developing in your own kind of your own teams and putting in your own collective efforts, and all of that is seen. And this is an opportunity for you to be able to share that story and connect with others, and it's really been exciting to see all of that culminate up to here. But we also have Aggie that we'd like to invite him to jump in.
Yeah. Let's head on over to the main stage, guys.
All right, so we're going to head over to the main stage. If you're not sure how to do that, just click the location button, teleport to another room. In that list is going to show you the all the rooms that are available you can teleport to, and just go ahead and hit that main stage room, and we'll see you there. All right, the presentation has begun. Aggie and Sarah, if you could join me on the stage. Let me just confirm that he has a speaker role so we can get him on the stage. And for anybody, if this is your first time seeing, yeah, this is, oh, he's here. Great. I don't even need to give him the role. He's got it. If you are hearing an echo, just mute the live stream. That means you're here with us in person, and you don't need to listen to it. So go ahead and hit that pause or mute button on the live stream, and you won't hear an echo anymore. Awesome. Yeah. Appreciate it. And at any time, you can share your questions. Just go ahead and throw it in chat if you have any questions for Aggie. But we are going to welcome Aggie back to Digicon 12. It's been 2 months. A lot has happened between now and then. I'm going to pass it over to you. Where would you like to start today? Give us your thoughts on, there's some shenanigans going on within the crypto world, some clear and present crime, some criminality. I don't know if you want to start there because it's a trending topic, or you can just tell us what you had for breakfast.
No, I would start with gratitude. Thanks for joining us on a Saturday. Thanks for being here, and hopefully you're enjoying this presentation. Thank you to Waffles Kitty, and thank you to Peter. You guys have done a great job kind of putting this thing together. These are hard days in the crypto industry, so I've been moving through a couple different emotions. The first is generally gratitude. Even while we're going through hard times, I try to stay in a state of gratitude. We have a beautiful community, like an exceptionally talented group of people, and so I start with gratitude. These days, I've had to mix in a bit of sadness. The two big things. Splinterlands went through a layoff just on Thursday, and we lost a fair number of very, very talented people. One of my favorite stories about that is more than once while laying off people, they asked me while in the meeting getting laid off if they could volunteer to help. And they said it was never about the money. It's always been about this community. And, that just, it hits me in my feels, because every time I think about that, it's like, that's the kind of caliber of people that we have that work here. And, it's an exceptional culture, and I'm honored daily to be part of it. Some of that, I've had varying mixed feelings from others directed at me, from like, you're a stupid crap head and I hate your face. How could you be so bad at this? And all the way to like, wow, this is a really tough market. As I evaluate this thing, it's been pretty rough. The Crypto Finally, who's like a social media influencer. Not everybody loves her, but I definitely follow her, and there's much insight to be gained. And one of her comments was something like, "I was emotionally prepared for one black swan. I was not emotionally prepared for 5 black swans." And that's kind of how I feel that this bear market. Splinterlands has been around since 2018, and I've been in crypto since 2016. So this is not our first rodeo. This is not the first time that I've watched assets go down, but this definitely feels like the longest, hardest, and shittiest of all of these bear markets. Generally, there tends to be some kind of thing at the bottom, some giant black swan. Mount Gox exploding was kind of the first one. Bitfinex dying, and what was the other one? Bitfinex dying is one. The COVID-19 is another, and then you get to like FTX at the end of this current one. So I have some hope that maybe we're at the end of this thing, because markets tend to bottom when things start exploding. And it's not just that, right? We had 3AC, we had Terra Luna, and now we have FTX. And we were already in a bear market for at least a year. and now we're like exploding at the end of it. So, at some point, bear markets end, and whenever a bear market ends, a bull market starts. This one has been a rather excruciating bear, so I'm anticipating a face melting, face ripping bull market will be behind it. But the timing of that, you never know. And as a business owner, I can't just kind of like go on my gut and go on my feels and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. We have to plan for something to be like a 1 or 2 year bear market. We're going to enter recession, and we have to be prepared for the kind of worst of it. So, we've done things that under no circumstances would I want to do. We're tabling Digicon after this one for a little while. I do hope to bring it back when markets turn around. I hope to get it running again. This has been a really great experience, and we've gotten like 2,000 people in a room simultaneously, and there's not that many places that do that are not like just filled with bots or something. So I don't know. I've been trying to do the best we can. It's a tight market, and we're a smaller team, but we still have a lot of things that we got to deliver on. People are expecting land to come out before the end of the year, and not all of land is going to be operational, but we'll have a good chunk of it done. We have to go get Rooney's, our Rooney sale, which is our PFP project, that ends in like 6 days. So if people don't get the remaining Rooney, they're about to be destroyed or like never to be minted. And on top of that, just because we have finished the Rooney mint doesn't mean that we finished the Rooney project. We still got to get it in game and got to get it playable and figure out ways that you can delegate it and whatnot. We have validator nodes. So like a huge part of this ecosystem is about trying to get the power to run it in the hands of the players. It's not just up to Splinterlands, it's up to you guys. We started doing some of this with like the SPS DAO votes and allowing you guys to sort of make changes to the game that seem like they're likely to be popular. But we got to extend that. There's got to be player proposals, and the players themselves have to run the economic engine. So all of that still needs to happen. So we have a good team. We have a team that can handle like the big infrastructure projects. We have a team that can handle kind of like building out this platform, and we have a team that can build the new enhancements that are going to be coming. And it's a smaller team than what we had last week, but it's still an incredibly capable and incredibly talented team. Now, kind of oddly, one of the things that we're going to end up doing is selling Splinterlands kind of as a platform. So like some of you are coming from communities, and those communities might want to launch their own NFTs, have their own pack sales, and utilize the same kind of technology as Splinterlands because it's a lot of work to build all this. And even if you've built it, it doesn't mean that your technology is going to scale to the billions of transactions. But that's what we've done. And rather than just kind of hold it to ourselves, we're starting to work with other companies to see, is this something that you would like to bring to your communities? There are some video game platforms, and I know that a lot of those video game platforms would love to have their assets tradable, to have fungible tokens, to have non-fungible tokens. If you're playing a Web 2 game, many of those people would love to see that Sword of Truth being an NFT rather than just an item in your inventory. So I'm talking to a lot of different groups to see if we can't help them spin up those websites and get things going. And actually, when we do that, I hope to deliver a variety of services, some of which might even be something like a virtual world that each one of these projects could go tool around in. So, I'm not done with Inverse and Gamer Jive. I'm not done with this community. I'm not done with Digicon. We're going to pause it for a little bit because this has been a hard stretch. But like I said, we've been through bear markets before. We will get through this one too. We have somewhere between 14 and 21 months of runway. And so if it's a bear market that goes on another 14 to 21 months, we'll probably still be okay because we'll figure out a way to go raise money or get other cash in here to make sure that we can operate. So, I know it's frustrating, and I know that's not what the folks want to hear, but in the black swan times, in the dark of the what I hope is at the bottom of the bear markets, there is a promised land after this. And when we get there, it's going to be astounding. The Bitcoin goes back up, all the altcoins go back up, and people are fighting for every last SPS that they can get their greedy little hands on. So we got to put our heads down. I'm happy to have kind of this weekend be like this coming week is a Thanksgiving week for the United States. So we have a lot of people have vacation this week, and hopefully that lets them cool off a bit and de-escalate a little bit. And then hopefully by the time that they come back, we have basically a month mostly of planning to do to make sure that we figure out how we're going to hit all of our objectives and all of our promises in the 2023 year. So we gotta crank it out. We got a lot to do. We got a phenomenal company still. We've lost some incredible people. We've lost some projects that we're working on, but I don't think these things are permanent. And the layoff is not a statement of I don't like you or I don't like your services. The layoff is I can't afford them now, and look everybody in the community in the eye and say that we'll be financially okay. By doing the layoff, I can tell everybody we're going to be financially okay, but it's come at great personal expense to the employees that were here, especially those that did a great job. There's a lot of humans here. They were fantastic. They were honorable. They were smart. They were talented. And I was not asking people to go because it was my preference. My preference will be to hire all these people back. We picked them for a reason. So it's been a difficult week. But that said, I do have hope. I have a lot of hope for the future. We have a fantastic team. We have the devs that we need to make great projects. I don't think bear markets last forever. I think they're typically marked by giant black swans at the bottom. And maybe there's more to go, but we're in an okay place to weather it. And I look forward to delivering more cool projects and cool things for you guys to do in the Splinterlands. Does that seem like a reasonable introduction? Maybe not quite as celebratory as normal.
No, gratitude
is never
great...
boring.
Yeah, no, gratitude is the best way to jump in there, Aggie. Yeah.
Yeah. There's like a Chinese curse, which may not actually be a Chinese curse, but it's may you live in interesting times. And that has most definitely hit me of like, I feel like I am living in the most interesting of interesting times. These are crazy days, and crypto's like that. One day you're like starving in the streets, begging for cash and hoping that your project survives, and the week after you're like drinking from the financial fire hose as like mega institutions start pouring cash in the spot. So we'll weather this like we have before. We'll get our friends and family back that want to be here, and we'll keep building. That's our path.
Yeah, I appreciate that sentiment, and the outlook it's quite refreshing to just hear a vulnerability mixed with just, hey, this is a real scenario. This is not an uncommon scenario. It was always what I felt like an inevitability in these ups and downs, right? And the bull and bear markets, they come and go. And usually at these points of time when we feel like, it's really dipped down, take a look at where everything was last year and the year before that, right? We're never going to go back to where it was, several years ago. It's only going to go up from here. So, again, kudos to you, the Splinterlands team, and to really just getting laser focused on what it is that the Splinterlands team needs to do in order to drive through and accomplish your goals and really give the Splinterlands community the kind of game that they've been asking for, their ability to participate in, through the DAO now, through SPS tokens. This is a really unique time where, decentralization and more digital ownership and the kind of equity that I think gamers love to have in games that they love, and to be able to participate in the evolution of those games as well. So this is a very unique time. You would have asked me 5 years ago, I would have never said that this is how the gaming world was going to evolve, right? Into play to earn, play to own, and GameFi in general. I do want to open it up to some questions. We've got actually we're almost out of time. We do need to head into the next interview here soon. But if you do have any questions for Aggie, go ahead and throw them up in chat. I will just throw this out to you, Aggie. Where with the whole FTX thing, I know you've been commenting, like watching a little bit. I have too about what's going on there. I see it as just true and true criminality. A lot of people are trying to make this association with like, oh, crypto. That's what happens in crypto. Like, no, this is what happens when people commit fraud and commit crime, commit money laundering.
Yeah,
How do you feel? Yeah.
same page. Those people are the worst actors ever. Like I don't know if you saw, but the attorney that dealt with the Enron explosion, not the physical explosion, but just the like complete collapse, is the person that's now in charge of this disaster. Um, and his comment was, "Never in my life have I seen financial controls so completely disregarded across an organization." They don't know where money went. They don't know who has it. They don't know what employees were there, but they were happy to go give hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars to key people. They were bribing. It's clearly a money laundering scheme where like U.S. government would funnel money into FTX. FTX would distribute it to Ukrainian politicians, but then also with whatever they kept, they would go and do kickbacks back to the leadership of the House and Senate in the United States. So yeah, I don't think their answer is we need more regulation for crypto. Like no, you already have laws for all of this on the books. Like you're not supposed to embezzle. You're not supposed to like use company funds and or not company, but use if somebody deposits money in your institution, you're not supposed to one trade against them, and you're not supposed to use their funds to go like leverage out your positions.
Yeah.
Like that's not what that is. They broke every single law in the book, and it's been amazing to watch like Forbes write these like glowing happy articles about like the worst freaking criminals that are in the space. And to put this in context, people have said for a while that crypto is kind of like the Wild West, and I would say it's like the Wild West on steroids. And a good example of the Wild West, a little bit more recently, was like Vegas. You go back to Vegas in the '60s, and it's pretty crime ridden. It's like the mob, and it's not a good place to be. In the '70s, they started cleaning it up, and then once they cleaned it up, the corporate lifestyle could come in. And now instead of having like rundown casinos, you're getting billion-dollar, megacorps to go in and like actually participate in the space. And as hard as it might be to see that right this second, when you clear out the worst actors in the space, like the people that are remaining have some credibility. And so if you're a brand and you're thinking like, who do we want to work with? Actually, the collapse of the FTX group and looking at what remaining players are still around it's gonna give folks like a ton of confidence. So I know that it looks mega grim, and I don't have a crystal ball, and I can't tell people that it's gonna 100% be okay. But my gut tells me there is a tsunami of money on the other side of this that is going to enter the space now that it's been cleaned up. And it won't be just retail dweebs. It's going to be, mega brands looking to get a Web3 presence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can confirm that after participating in some events with Invest Hong Kong and MageSpire and some of the events going on in the East, right, in those regions, their reviews of investment capital that's benched right now is record-breaking amounts of money that is just waiting to be allocated strategically in different areas. That I can confirm. That is not financial advice. Please do your own research. But that trend, right, is right around the corner, and it's really interesting to see, like what they are most interested in, not just in Web3, DeFi, but specifically GameFi, because that's what they're passionate about, right? The opportunity for communities to then participate in these games and then own their assets within these games.
Wait, Pete, before we go to the next, there's two questions in the chat for Aggie. So one is what is your fondest memory over the years with Splinterlands?
That's a great question.
You know, whenever anything really good happens, I will go out and buy a chocolate cake and share it with my family. And
That's
I
awesome.
call it success cake. So my favorite thing is really just having success cake, and I've done it maybe 5 times over the last couple of years, maybe 6. But just sitting down with my family and celebrating the big wins together, that's my greatest joy. So there's lots to be thankful for and lots to be grateful for. As we rolled out tournaments, as we got DEC stood up, as we got SPS out, as we grew our team, as we had like a record breaking year. Like last year, we 17x'd our sales. I mean, that's extraordinary. And this year, even in a bear market, we have grown. I mean, that might be one of my proudest accomplishments. I know it's weird to say that right after we're like laying people off, but even still, it has been a challenge. And this, I think, is the most difficult year and the most difficult time I've ever had. And yet, even after the layoffs, this is kind of the biggest organization that I wasn't imagining this 3 or 4 years ago. So we're bigger than we were last year. We're bigger than we were the years before. There's still some growth in this company. So I don't know. There's lots that I've been grateful for, lots of good moments, and even now I'm still excited about the direction that we're going.
Awesome. And then the next question from Jim Morgan's: how much did you guys bless my account so I could get 2 gold Luxes at 2% chance? Was it because I asked a question at Splinterfest about Lux being Kelia 2.0?
Yeah, that was phenomenal. I mean, that's like a $10,000 swing there. So kudos to you. Yeah, Splinterlands and some of the way that things happen can be like an outrageous opportunity. There's no finagling. Everybody's got the same chances, but you sir lucked out, and congratulations. Glad it went in your favor.
That's excellent. And now that we've gotten close to the next speaker jumping in, Aggie, I just want to say one final thank you, heartfelt. This has been an exciting event. I'm sure that there will be some interesting things to come here in the near future. For everybody who's here and participating in Digicon, big heartfelt thank you to you as well. Please tell your friends about these kinds of events and your love for play to earn and DeFi. This really happens because of your energy that you bring to it. It wouldn't happen without us. One person can't lift 1,000,000 pounds, but with 1,000,000 people, all we have to do is lift one. So again, thank you, Aggie. I really appreciate you coming by, and we'll see you at the other end of Digicon.
Yeah, glad to be here. Thanks for hosting, Peter and Waffle. You've done a phenomenal job.
Thank you so much for having me. I really look forward to like the future, and like if Digicon comes back, you know where to find me.
Yeah, well, if folks don't know, I had to tell Waffle Skitty here that I was laying her off and we're pausing Digicon, and she is a class act. The very next day, she's still helping to finish out the Digicon event, and and like you just heard, she would want to go do this again, and like that's the kind of caliber of person that we work with. So Sarah, I'm awfully grateful that you're here. Thank you for running this. I look forward to figuring out a way to go run it again, and it would be an absolute pleasure to have you at the helm of that.
Yeah, awesome. That's the way that we close these things out, is with some heartfelt appreciation and gratitude, because it's only going to get better from here, guys, and it really is what we decide what we want to do with it. So again, thank you again, Aggie. Sarah, if you want to join me, let's go get to the next one. Cheers, Aggie.
Oh,
we'll see you again soon.
We're staying right here.
Oh, we don't have to go anywhere. All right, Aggie. Let's do one thing.
Let's get Tron Company up to the stage. There should be a button. I gave you the speaker role at the bottom left, in the middle.
We're getting AJ up here, right? Is that what's happening? Or are we doing Funny NFT guy?
Funny NFT.
Oh, yeah, Drawn Company. Welcome. Okay. Before we begin, we just got to do a quick PSA before we fire things off. I just want to jump over in and head up to our speaker list. So this we've got a slam-packed day of speakers who are going to be jumping in for today's live stream. We just wrapped up with Aggie. We're going to have, obviously, Drawn Company who will be coming up next. Funny NFT guy, CEO of Drawn Company. So we'll be hanging out with him for the next, 20 minutes or so. Following that, we've got AJ Brockman, CEO of EMP. We've got Crimson Clad, Hive Witness.
Oh, wait, we got Mammoth Mythics right before Crimson Clad.
And then right before that, we got Jake and Jack that are going to be hopping on and hanging out with us. And then to close things out, we're going to get Weird Beard. You guys all know and love him, Splinterlands, director of Esports. Let me just put the schedule up on the live stream so you can see it. Take a screenshot. And it's also in the schedule here in Digicon. Just go to digicon.com. If you want to get into the event and you're watching this online and you're not inside the virtual space, just go hop in that website. There's a link there. You can also go to inverse.app, and you can also find the Digicon event link there. This is all run on Inverse as the platform, and Digicon is our bi-monthly, and this will be our last one. We're going to be putting this on hiatus for a little while. I'm sorry, guys. I wish I had my sad emote or my sad soundboard going. But this means that play-to-earn games are not going anywhere, and it's really going to rely on the rest of the community to come up with what are we going to do next, right? Because it's going to be a big vacuum that I think that needs to be filled. So without further ado, let's bring it back to our talk. Drawn Company, Funny NFT guy, welcome to the stage.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, my friend. We're really excited for you to be here. As you're aware, there's some interesting things that are going on in the blockchain and the crypto market. We don't need to talk about that, though. How about you share with everybody who may be discovering you for the first time what it is that you specialize in?
Well, I specialize in making funny NFTs. However, what I've come to tell everybody about today is my experience at Comic-Con. So I've got a little presentation just to share with people, just to talk through basically how we did it, why we did it, and why it's going to be the future, and it's so important to us and everybody. So can I share screen?
Yeah, yes, sir. Please do.
Right, then. You're all going to get a really dodgy desktop to start off with. There you go. Beautiful. Right, then. Can you see my presentation?
Looks good.
Can you see it?
It's on screen. You're live, yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm not going to keep you long, guys, but I think it's important that we sort of like talk about what we've achieved with taking the Wax blockchain to Comic-Con in Birmingham. So yeah, you said, was it Peter?
Yes.
Peter, is that your name, Peter? You said, introduce a bit about myself. So Drawn Company, I started collecting NFTs this time last year, almost to the day. Bought my first Hot Wheels NFT. I caught COVID and was morbidly ill in January of this year, and thought, you know what, I can do what I'm looking at the indie creators doing, but I can probably do it better. And Drawn Company was born. I've built a massive community around me for a relatively small project. I've got 2,000 holders with 50 holders of more than 100 NFTs. Got a few people in the Discord as well. I've got a big history in branding and marketing. So I've got lots of that. That's where my skill set is, and I use that, with NFTs and with doing stuff that we've done with Digicon. Comic-Con. Here's a few of the bits that we do. We started off on the left or right, depending on which way you're looking at it, making little skits basically. So funny NFTs was how we became known on the blockchain. We then moved on to making action figures in the same style, and then this Digicon, we've just released our Arcade in My Pocket range, which is loads of old retro sort of video games of the different brands that we have in Drawn Company. So I think, first of all, like, a lot of people have asked me, how the bloody hell did you manage to get to, how did you manage to get Drawn Company and Wax at Comic-Con? And the truth is, I just approached their global head of marketing and I said, look, I make NFTs myself, but I'm a very small fry. I don't want to bring my brand, essentially. I want to bring what we do and the community. And I want to start the discussion and understand why people might not like NFTs. And the guy loved that idea. So we entered sort of like a partnership. And it's very clear early on that we had to ditch the term NFT when we were there and whilst we were designing the stuff. So we instead of trying to sell NFTs, we're trying to sell digital collectibles instead. So just completely losing the NFT moniker, because it's a block for some people. People just don't understand it. We're having conversations on the booth and people are saying, oh my God, NFTs are evil. You make me buy, microtransactions in video games. And I'm like, yeah, that's not what NFTs are. But yeah. So when we sort of like, when we were there, and I'll show you some really cool photos in a minute instead of text, we sort of learned that saying like, would you like some free digital collectibles is a mouthful. So we ended up just doing what I used to use at game as a sales technique, which is draw people in and just ask them what they collected. And 8 times out of 10 they collected Funkos, which is a great sort of way to start promoting the Wax blockchain to someone. And sort of like the message was simple. So, NFTs in general, Wax, whatever you're talking about, Drawn Company, it looks complex, but actually it's simple when you get down to it. And it looks risky as well, doesn't it? It's like we were just talking about there, what's going on in the crypto markets. But actually, if you come to Wax, the risks are relatively low because we're not betting the house on buying, digital profile pictures. Oh my word, an unfinished slide. I'll get shot for that. But I'm sorry, there should have been three photographs there. But this is what the booth looked like. We did it really well. I mean, we were talking on the Atomic Hub space last night, and we said, really, because we are trying to flog digital collectibles, we needed some more, we needed something digital there. We needed a big screen, to be honest, to really make an impact. But we worked with what we got, and I set up all the design work myself for that. We had some help from Nifty Blocks, also from Wax, which was nice to get the print done. We used the Wax Alliance. So some of you might have heard of the Wax Alliance. If there's any creators in here and you're not in the Wax Alliance, just go to Twitter, join the Wax Alliance, because what we did was, with this, we got all the artists from the Wax Alliance to basically, we invited them to provide NFTs so that we could give them out to the general public when we were doing, free wallet signups and the likes. Also as well, you'll see in the top right hand corner, we've got the Wax at Comic Con hashtag. Just have a search of that on Twitter. We made IRL trading cards for some of the collectors that helped us, and we took our Constructoids, which is one of my brands, and I did because it was sort of like a joint collab between myself and Broken Dolls, just to give people something to take away in their hands. We did a presentation. We made complete tits out of ourselves on the main stage, but it was really beautiful because I've said to Shinazi at Wax, I'm reluctant to show people the entirety of the presentation because I think what we've created is close to IP because it's so bloody good. So it just basically I went there. I wanted to show people this. So where are you on your digital journey, right? And a lot of people who are looking at this now, we're all at the stages. So we're using streaming services, we're buying digital video games, we're subscribing to streaming services, we're buying loot boxes. So why the hell wouldn't you buy NFTs? William Shatner said it this week. Have you seen the tweet from William Shatner where he turned around and said, why are you all moaning at me for, flogging NFTs when you guys are buying digital stuff which you can't sell in video games? Which is true. It's true, isn't it? So it shouldn't be a tough sell. It's just that stigma. So yeah, we took the blockchain, we took the brands. We weren't allowed to use any of that in print. But hopefully, when we do this again, we'll be able to maybe team up with the likes of Hot Wheels or Pop, because that was a real draw. And it was about just preaching about why I love Wax and why I think Wax is, the right place to be for people that are at a Comic Con. Because essentially they're there to collect stuff, aren't they? So, we do packs, we do blends, which is, that's harder stuff to convey than the packs. We're carbon neutral. We have collection books, which are like sticker albums. We've got a really friendly ecosystem. I mean, testament to this today, Digicon, that's part of it. Actually, just as a sort of like an FYI, I'd show people Digicon on the stand and they get it. And I was just showing them on my phone, but they were like, oh my God, I've never seen anything like that. Is that the metaverse? Yes, this is the metaverse, and this is the type of stuff that we're doing alongside NFTs. So we had a lot of stuff going on the stand. we did loads of sign-ups. We handed out loads of wax activation codes, but we only handed them out after we'd had a good conversation with people. We didn't want them just going out willy-nilly. And it was a free-for-all on the trading cards. Broken and I were in a space last night for Atomic Hub, and one of the things that we found really interesting was we laid all the trading cards out, and we just said to people, would you like some free stuff? Come and have a look. Which one's your favorite? And we found that, Kuma's, Crypto Kuma's was a favorite. Karen hardly ever came up from Drawn Company. Broken Dolls' Night Warden was a favorite, and Schnazzy was a favorite with the girls as well, which was nice to see. So yeah, that was it, guys. That was us taking wax to Comic Con, and I wanted to come and share that with you because how do I stop share? There we go. Yeah. So I just wanted to do that. So yeah. Oh God.
That's spectacular. No, that's spectacular, and I love that you kind of bridged the connection between what this means in the kinds of events that people are passionate about and how that extends into global participation and bringing it online. And I wholeheartedly agree. I don't like to use the words metaverse. I don't like to use NFTs. I don't even like to say Web3. I just like to break it down as just what is the natural progression of the way that this technology is going to be used that relates specifically to that person that is already using this technology in various ways, right? If you have a loyalty program of any kind that exists on a mobile app, that's kind of heading towards the Web3 side of things, right? Because you have a digital form of tracking how frequently you are shopping at a particular store. I mean, Starbucks is already getting into their work with Polygon and their NFTs. The market is already making the jump. The brands are dipping their toe into the water, and as much time as we spend educating, that's an endless mission. So I really want to commend you on putting the effort in there, because Comic-Con is one of those places, and I'm familiar with the folks at ReadPop, so I know that they're very aware of the sentiment around NFTs, specifically like game designers, musicians, etc. I have a couple questions in mind, but I just want to pass it to Sarah in the event that, Sarah, what your reaction to Comic-Con, because I know you're a fan of these spaces. How, between what Wax making kind of some groundbreaking entry into that space, I'm curious, like from your view, what you think after working on Digicon.
I think there shouldn't be like an issue bridging between the two, like we've already seen after like attending yourself, right? So why aren't people using digital products that they already buy without having the word crypto included with it, right? So I want to say, like, we're just in, like you said, Pete, it's more of like an education thing. Like, oh, how does this work? Like, everything's like, well, can I lose everything, or stuff like that. I think the biggest part about it is the education piece, so that people aren't kind of like scared to like try something new.
Yeah. And what were some of the objections? What were the most interesting objections? Maybe not, because I imagine people are generally kind and they're just like, oh, I never knew that, or no, NFTs, no, I've heard about those, they're a little weird. I don't know what that is, but I heard other people not like it. What was the experience like?
So, sorry, exactly what you said there. You'd expect the type of crowd at a Comic-Con to be welcoming, right? There was no objections. In particular, there was one guy who walked past and goes, "Oh, look, they're trying to sell digital collectibles," and I just said, "Yes, they're NFTs," like to him, but he was never going to come over anyway. Do you know what I mean? There was no way you were going to convert him. I could just tell. There was nobody apart from that who gave us. There was one girl who came up and gave us the lecture that she was fed up of buying loot boxes and in video games. But I was trying to tell her she was confusing the concept that wasn't what NFTs were. But she couldn't grasp that, and she just walked off in the end.
It could be a use case for NFTs, right, with loot boxes, stuff like that, and like how we have packs and you can open packs. But I think you're just thinking about just one way on how it works. But there's so many different ways to utilize it.
Yeah, 100%. And as I say, apart from those two bits, which were the most negative, nothing else really. Like, it was just people would walk past and we'd say, do you fancy trying some free digital collectibles? But we never tried to. We found that we had more success when we let people come to us. Do you know what I mean? We didn't have the sort of like the strong offer to pull people in with. We had to catch their interest with the art, as you saw that was there. They'd come in and we'd have the conversation, and we wouldn't open honestly with do you want to, would you like some NFTs? It was, what are you here collecting today? And once you'd started that conversation and they could link it back, and then one of the most beautiful moments I've had since I've started NFTs was, I had a guy who, it wasn't a hard sell with him. He'd heard of NFTs, but when I opened a pack of my drawn company cards, you could see his eyes light up, right? And he grabbed his son. He said, "Son, look at this. Yeah, we'll have a look at this when we get home." And that's the type of thing that we need, isn't it? And all I'm doing there is showing him a basic pack opening of something that I've created, and I've sold him. He's there. You can see, you can see it in his eyes. It's like magic, yeah, he was genuinely like flabbergasted and taken back. So I would say no negatives apart from those two at all.
Yeah, I just want to read some of the comments that people have been putting in chat. Again, some of the objections that people have been hearing out there. I see Breakman is talking about them being called useless Ponzi scheme, kills the environment. He's heard this the most from the public, but he feels that it's very true over, I guess, in the ETH community, because like that's how they try to position themselves of proof of stake versus proof of work. Again, that people come up with all kinds of ways to try to, get one camp to move towards the other. It's what, guys, we're all in this together either way, and you just really got to use discernment and come to your own conclusions on a lot of this stuff. And I think that's a safe place to be, and that's not financial advice for anybody, but I found that I was able to arrive to better conclusions on my own just simply by spending a little time to doing a little research. What else? Another comment. Crypto's NFTs are victims of greed. Yes, ETH and OpenSea are very responsible for the nonsense around NFTs, says Futures Relic.
I actually, when I did our panel and presentation, the first 4 slides were scaring the crap out of people. So basically, I opened up by saying, today we're going to learn about NFTs, and I went through all the negative things, and I said, so you've heard they're harmful to the environment, they're just overpriced profile pictures, it's inaccessible, there's so much choice. And then I went through and I summarized the 4 main bullets. I said, so okay, we're harming the environment, we're throwing money down the toilet. I can't remember the other 2. And then I showed them the graph of wax going progressively down. And then what I did was I just sort of like said, thanks for coming. So I pretended the presentation had ended, and people were looking at me shocked. They said, no, we're gonna mitigate all of that for you now. I'm gonna tell you why all of those things do not apply to what I do on the Wax blockchain. And not only did it get a laugh, people were engaged then, because we'd already dealt with all those elephants that were in the room.
Comedy, I think, is the best cerebral brain hack that anyone has at a tool at their disposal. That's why Dave Chappelle. That's why pick any comedian that you love. George Carlin, right? Some of the greatest comedians that are out there were also the greatest storytellers and helped people realize the nature of the zeitgeist of what we live in. So kudos to you on that one. I think that's fantastic. We do have about a minute or so, give or take.
Okay,
we're a little bit of we're a little flexible because we intentionally put a nice buffer, thanks to Sarah. She puts a nice buffer in between these conversations. But in an ideal world, right? Next time you go to Comic-Con, what are you hoping to see?
What, next time I take the blockchain to Comic-Con?
Yeah.
So I just need, personally, I just need a bit more support from the higher ups, because I put it out to everybody that I was taking, the blockchain to Comic-Con, and I think a lot of people turned around and said, "Don't be effing stupid," yeah, and just ignored me. So there's been a lot of people as soon as we got there and saw the stand that were sending me or Broken Dolls messages saying, "Why didn't you message me about this? Because we could have supported you." We did message you about this. So I think what we need is we just need better tools for a stand, to sort of make it a bit more Web3. We need to be able to bring people in, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
And simple promotional techniques coming from Broken Dolls again, and freshers fairs everywhere. We're going to do bags with the Wax logo on, with everybody's logos, so that we can give people a bag and just say, "You're not interested, okay? Take a bag, walk around with this, and fill it up with stuff." There you go. You don't need to bother with buying one now. I don't know how that works these days. But those are the two first things that will instigate. But I've got to talk to Repop again to see if it's something they want to pursue.
Yes.
But I think we put on enough of a show, on social media, because that was the one thing I said I could do. Like, I'd get, retweets from different accounts. So we got retweeted by Wax a ferew times.
And just one last note, are you aware of the bi-weekly Friday? They have a game dev meetup that happens on Zoom. The Repop team, or at least Yug. I don't know if you're familiar with Yug. He's more on the biz dev side. But they host bi-weekly for these game devs that work in, like AAA publishers and some more on the just traditional gaming side. That event, I think it's the indie game meetup. I forget the name of it. I haven't been in quite a while, but I could tell that there was a sentiment inside that event whenever I talked about the metaverse and gave kind of a brief intro, or kind of a brief kind of look. I pulled back the curtains a little bit. I didn't go in too deep. But when I talk about, like what we're doing in Inverse, and they'd ask about NFTs, and I felt like I was being interrogated, and it's such a bizarre situation to be in, but there's nothing to be afraid of. Folks, any technology can be broken, any technology can have flaws. It's just the difference between which communities are providing you insight into how those tools are being built and allowing you to participate in the storytelling and the development of those projects. It's a clear difference day and night. Right? If you have no information about the developers or the executive team behind those organizations that are building, whether it's DeFi or even like your favorite console game that is out there, you're gonna find that eventually, you're right. Those games tend to, they tend to dissolve, and not because the player base, not because of any just bad feelings about the game, but simply because there's no open flow of communication, right, from the team to the community, and then allowing that to be more of a product-led approach. And I know this is all boring shit that you don't want to hear at an event like this, but it's just the reality that a lot of us face when we're trying to create something that works, right, for the community, because we just want to solve problems. And I think that's a good approach. And you're thinking of that mindset when you go to Digicon, is like, how do we solve this problem of the kind of like the half-truths, or even just complete lies that have been painted on NFTs.
And you've got to overcome them, really, and that was what we, but there's sometimes there are you've got to choose your battles. There are going to be battles that you can't win. That person didn't want to be told that NFTs weren't the things that she was buying in Fortnite. Yeah, those were NFTs. There was always be NFTs. It's just that, as I say, that conversation, and that's what we did, and that's what we'll do. We'll do it again, man, because I'm a trailblazer. I'm a pioneer.
I really appreciate the energy on that one. Yeah, funny NFT guy.
Me. Yeah, there was one question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If you are here, who is in charge of the office right now?
Karen, of course. She couldn't come and present because she's broken her leg. She went snowboarding today. We've got a snowboarding place, so she just couldn't get out. So
and ladies and gentlemen, we have that video of that incident coming up. Right? I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Even if I did, I wouldn't play that.
That would be so great.
Holy goodness! Please share our healing energy with her, and we hope that she has a very fast and speedy recovery.
Oh, she will.
And you have another event coming up, right? Later today?
The Digicon takeover. So please join us on the stand. Let's try and break Digicon. Can we go to 3 instances?
We can.
Is that technically possible?
Oh yeah, this particular room can scale as high. All the rooms can scale, but this is a unique one where you're going to be able to hear the speakers no matter how high it scales.
We want to go for 3 instances in the Nefty Blocks room tonight because we did 2 last time.
We did increase the limit to 45.
Yeah, so now
we'll see.
It's going to require more. Yeah, it's going to require a lot more people this time, at least 20 more.
That's 135 people.
Yeah, and we got free NFTs. You can win a legendary. Check out my stuff. Drawn Company. Anyway, I should go, guys.
We've got 116 people that are hanging out in Digicon somewhere, and only 26 of them are here in this room, which means they're watching the live stream in other rooms, and that's not including the 30 or 40 plus people that are also watching on the live stream in various channels over Twitch, YouTube, and I think some of the D Live. I don't know if it's over there as well, Sarah. I'm sure you're.
No, I think it's only Twitch and YouTube, and then there are other people independently streaming on their own and kind of like giving us a cameo in their live streams. So I think those are the only ones.
Yeah. Well, funny NFT guy.
Cool.
Thank you, my friend. We really appreciate it.
Waffles Kitty, you're a hero.
Absolutely.
You're my hero.
Yeah. Everyone give her some love. You see Waffles. Tell her how great she is. And we'll get
off the stage then.
Yes, please do. Be careful stepping down off the stage.
I will.
The office.
Yeah, did we ever get your wallet? That wallet. We need to get that fixed. I know people are trying to tip you and kind of show you some love. Whether you want to give Waffle some NFTs.
I have it on my profile. If you click on my avatar, or if you click on my circle at the top, you can see my links. And
there's her
wax. My wax wallet and my Hive wallet for now, but
there's the
Hive. If you had other stuff, let me know.
Yeah, you want her to come play your game? You want her to come join your guild or join you're like, I've already got her a part of my guild in Splinterlands. I just said, Waffles, here, I'm gonna make you a guild like officer. Here you go. And she's like, what? Why? What am I gonna? I'm like, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna give it to you. But yeah, that's really easy to do. You can click on her camera and get that in. Sarah, what's coming up next?
We have the intro to EMP with AJ Brockman, CEO. Let's head on over there. They are in the EMP hall.
All right. We're going to switch to some activities that happened yesterday. I'm going to run that while we head over to the next talk. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few moments. Hang tight. Digicon 12 right here online. Love you. Bye.
Welcome to the Detonator. The Detonator is a system to multiply your Ethereum and EMP by 365% while providing
It's the heartbeat. It's just creepy as hell, man. Shit! In 5 years, the cities of Immersis will all be destroyed by a tidal wave. Everyone will die. All the NFTs will be burned. And no one will survive.
So good.
Because they will all be turned into fish.
I love that clip. I love it. Oh man, that clip from Digicon 8 just gets me. Here, let's see what else I got. I'm gonna run in a couple of others. For anyone who wasn't here for when the GUIs launched, this is some of the mess that was happening during the GUIs.
Silver just put it in there. It's the GJ Blunt 420.
I have to write this?
Yeah, go put that. Go put that as an unlock on your avatar customizer.
Yeah. If you go to avatars or customizers, and then click unlock item and put that code in and get the floor.
Oh, Drake is here. What's up, bro?
Drake? Where's Drake?
Right here, doing.
There he is. What's up, buddy?
You can get some. Yeah, there it is. It's just like we're just creating sparks.
Oh yeah, that one in the presentation room. That was a good one.
Oh, we can shake hands. Let's go. Oh, look at that.
Hello.
All right, Pete. I think AJ is ready to go. I see the live stream already starting at the bottom right.
Hey everybody, yep, ready when you are.
AJ. Glad you could be here. Sarah,
yeah,
go for
Pete, how are you, brother? Great to see you.
Send some emotes out, guys. Send some hearts to the EMP team. Great people here. All right.
And I wish I went to Vegas and got to meet everyone.
I know.
I think LA was there. I think I saw her on one of the videos. AJ, I think he said he couldn't make it.
Yeah, no, my wife is about ready to pop, so we're having our first daughter. So yeah, man, thank you, brother.
That's
so,
huge.
Yeah, so no Splinterfest this year, but definitely next year. LA was out there and killed it. So yeah, totally.
Killed it.
Yeah. Excellent. So, Sarah, go ahead and kick off this intro for us. Get the soft launch. Do the soft launch.
Well, EMP has been a long-term sponsor and just a supporter of Splinterlands in general. And ever since they came over to Digicon, it's been nothing but awesome stuff. People learning about how awesome the EMP platform and community is. I don't want to take all the fire out of AJ, so let's have AJ introduce us what EMP is, and then we'll ask some questions after.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Yeah, happy to be here. Hopefully the live stream's coming through loud and clear. And I know we have about half an hour, so I'm going to try to get through it as fast as we can. I'm also joined by LA, one of our team members. We recently brought her on the actual team, so congrats to LA. And yeah, we're here to describe a little bit about EMP, what we are and what we built and what we're continuing to build, and some other awesome announcements that we've launched over the last few weeks. So at its core, EMP is a seniorage protocol, which is very different than most DeFi protocols. We are on the Binance Smart Chain, or BNB chain now, and the goal of EMP is to be able to provide a platform that gives passive income through a closed loop economic model. And I know that sounds a little bit wordy and complicated, and it is. I know that a lot of people get a little overwhelmed at what EMP is, but we have been proving that our economic model is very superior. I mean, we just celebrated our 10-month anniversary yesterday, and that is an eternity in crypto. And even though we've been through one of the worst bear markets we've ever seen over the last few months, EMP is continuing to pay yield, and all the while, being sustainable during the downturn in the market. So, all that being said, EMP is pegged to the price of Ethereum 4,000 to 1. And through this pegging, and again, like I mentioned earlier, a closed loop economy that gives value to our secondary token, which is called eShare, we're able to offer amazing yield through our farms and APR through different contracts that are built on top of EMP, and do so in a very sustainable way. So we are a little bit below peg right now. Again, nobody is immune to the bear market, but we have been able to again maintain these APRs and pay out every single day, even though we're below peg. So a lot of people think that seniors protocols live and die by their peg, but because we're paid to ETH, which is an appreciating asset, not a stable token, it gives us a lot more flexibility on maintaining that peg and not being the end of the world if we're not 100% at peg. So all that being said, we've had major success and been super strong as an not only as a community but as one of the leading DeFi projects on BNB. So again, even though we are paid to ETH, we are on the Binance Smart Chain or BNB network to avoid all the fees, and we still transact in actual BEP20 Ethereum. So it's Ethereum that's backed by Binance. It's not just some made-up token. You're actually getting actual Ethereum by accumulating in our farms. So that's kind of an overview of what EMP is. I know, again, it is very complicated, but we have an academy that we have launched. Again, it's 100% free. We are one of the leaders in the space to offer a free academy about our program and our platform. And a lot of other DeFi protocols are now implementing their own academies, which just shows that we have been innovators in the space and really trying to educate people not only how to make the best yield in our platform, but also become better DeFi users. So, I mean, that's kind of EMP at a high level. LA, is there anything you want to add about EMP overall before we get into some other updates? I know I'm going to try to move pretty fast today. So,
I think you got it. That was a great overview.
all right, awesome. Well, and I'm going to hang out a little bit afterwards as well. If anybody has specific questions, please feel free to ask at the end. All right. Yeah, Peter, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
I always like to simplify things and explain it as if, we've got a bunch of, like 5 or 10-year-olds, right, that are trying to understand this technology and how people are
100%.
able to contribute to it. So if I want to buy a token and, I've only got $1 to spend instead of 100, right? EMP is an option for me to buy a fraction, right, of those particular
Yes.
tokens and then be able to have shared yield or shared, I guess, returns on some of the very specific projects or, node. Maybe there's some mining or staking that's happening specifically with EMP. So I'm seeing a couple of things where you're helping manage some of those services within the blockchain technology that lets people that don't have a lot of capital to be able to come in at a lower price point and start to learn maybe at a slower pace at
Totally.
how you can generate these returns.
Yeah, great point, Peter, and thanks, bro. I appreciate you. Again, we get so in the weeds and we talk about this every day that I know it can come across a little bit overwhelming. So absolutely. So to your point, EMP is fractionalized Ethereum, and we're able to do that not only in the code by being pegged 4,000 to 1, but also through our deep liquidity. Our main liquidity pair is EMP ETH. And again, it's actual ETH. And we have $6.5 million of liquidity. We at one point were the number like 30th holder of Ethereum on the entire BNB network. So I mean, we have again the liquidity to back up all the claims that we make. And yeah, to your point, I mean, if you can't afford a full ETH at $1,200 or $3,000 at the high point, you can absolutely buy EMP, and own multiple tokens while having that representation of the fractionalized ETH. And then you can also, like you said, earn both directly and indirectly. So this is a great segue into the other announcement that we have with our brand new NFTs. So I know a
Projects.
lot. Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
go.
So I know a lot of people are more comfortable with NFTs. Again, being Splinterlands, everybody knows how that works. And so with our NFTs, you're actually able to buy them, and then through a series of smart contracts, we are able to manage the most optimal way to invest into our ecosystem on behalf of the NFT holders. And then produce yield for you. So again, if this is very complicated, we have a very simple solution by simply picking up one of our NFTs, and then that will produce yield in both eShare, which is our profit-taking token in our ecosystem, and MDB, which is a partner that we have in our protocol. That's another amazing DeFi project, and again is able to be sold for either more Ethereum or more BNB or whatever token you want to accumulate. So yeah, we're really excited about that. They are available now on NF Trade or NFT Trade. They're called the Sentinel Squadron, and we minted out of our entire NFT collection in a matter of about 5 hours, and we were able to raise $1.5 million
That's amazing.
in revenue for the protocol, and we were the largest independent mint on Binance Smart Chain. So pretty amazing. Yeah, right on, Pete. So yeah, the only other one that raised more was actually PancakeSwap. So again, if we're competing with PancakeSwap, I think we're in a pretty good spot. So I don't know, LA, you want to maybe mention a little bit more about the NFTs? I feel like I kind of am giving a lot of info at once. You do a great job of simplifying it, but yeah.
Sure, absolutely. So, a lot of people, when entering our protocol, before they've had an opportunity to take part in our academy, mention that they may get overwhelmed with all of the different opportunities for ways that you can earn income in EMP. And so, we wanted to simplify things and give an opportunity to earn pure passive income on a loop without having to do anything, kind of like an easy button. And so these NFTs actually give you exposure to two different great ecosystems on a loop without having to do anything. Unlike our amazing ROI contracts, where you do actually have to be actively involved every day with either compounding or claiming before a certain time. With the NFTs, you can claim daily, claim weekly, claim monthly, whatever you choose. They accumulate rewards daily in both eShare and MDB, and you can do what you like with those rewards. We have a lot of great resources in our community where we can help you learn what to do with those rewards to maximize your earnings. We have a great community that's always willing to help and share and talk strategy. And like I mentioned, we also have that awesome academy. So that's definitely a first step that we always recommend taking part in. But the NFTs have been doing really, really great on the secondary market as well. And we just released the rankings with Rarity Sniper. And so now there's rankings for all 5,000 NFTs from 1 to 5,000. So you can go check out which ones are more rare than others. And you can see if you can get a good deal in the secondary market for one that's of high rarity right now. So I actually posted the link to the NF Trade link to our Sentinel Squadrons in the chat there for anyone who wants to go take a look.
I really like that. It's like a very set it and forget it, like, and you don't, well, not really forget it, but it's not like as active, right, as your other resources and services.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Waffles. And again, we obviously, take feedback from the community. We want to make it as accessible as we possibly can. And so with the success of this NFT, we also have another version of it that actually rewards you in EMP ETH through our detonator contract, hopefully launching in the next month or so, definitely by the end of the year. So again, this has been really bullish for our economy and our ecosystem and investors. I mean, the NFT right now, the Sentinel Squadron NFT, is paying about 0.3% daily based on current market conditions, which is incredible. I mean, you make more in 2 days than you do in having your money in a bank account. So it's really, very powerful. And what if you're not happy with the yield? You can just sell the NFT and no harm, no foul. It doesn't hurt the ecosystem at all. And so, but we've been buying back our own NFTs through sweeping the floor. We've been holding a floor price very, very steadily, even with the downturn in the market, as I said earlier. So, and we have even more awesome utility planned for those NFTs as well. Not only are they badass collectible items, but they actually have real world utility by providing a yield. So yeah, we're super excited. And to touch on something Ellie mentioned about what to do with your reward. So another amazing thing that we just launched is a single staking pool for the eShare that you earn with the NFTs. So whether you're in the farms or the NFTs themselves, you earn eShare, and that is the token that you sell for profit. Or you can actually, produce more income. Again, eShare is an income producing asset itself. So by doing so, you stake the eShare in this new pool that we have, and you're able to earn on top of earn. Again, another right now that pool is about 0.5% daily on staking eShare. Now you do have to lock it up for about 21 days at a time, but again, that is the risk versus reward that you're being rewarded in more eShare for locking it up and staking it. But again, even if you don't own eShare, we've seen a lot of people buying eShare on the secondary market now just to participate in that pool, and it's become extremely lucrative. I mean, where in the world are you going to be able to earn, about 0.5% daily on an appreciating asset? I can tell you, there's not many places, especially with the transparency and the track record that our team has. So yeah, LA, you want to mention anything about the staking pool? I know we've all been super excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, we're all so excited about it because, especially with where the market is at, to be able to offer such great returns has everyone pretty excited and buzzing in our community. And yeah, there's just been a lot of really great response to it. And can't really think of much else to say beyond what you've already said.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, and again, I think a lot of people, still ask questions like this. So if we don't go over it, we're more than happy to help you in our Telegram, our Discord, and during and not to get too far off topic here, but during bear markets like these, now is the time to accumulate. So if you're able to earn more eShare, earn more EMP, earn more ETH, like now is where insane amount of wealth can be built because once the market does return, then you can take profits in
That's
these
right.
assets.
A bear market is a builder's market.
Exactly, Pete. You got it, brother. Man. So yeah, and we that's an ethos here at EMP. Not only are we built on transparency and providing passive income, but we're also built on the education. And so again, if we can make better DeFi users as well, that's also a main part of our mission. In being a protocol. So it's exciting stuff. Yeah,
That's actually something I would love to add.
Please.
Yesterday, one of our main admins or mods in our chats actually posted a great graph that he found. He's like Stinky Beans. He's someone we tease about that he never sleeps because he's just like one of our. He deserves an award. He's always in the chats, always helping out, always doing research, always has the most perfect video to post, like that suits any situation or anything being chatted about. But he posted a graph of actually our EMP ETH farm that it's actually the #1 highest APR in all of BSC with an exposure to ETH currently. And then our eShare farm is offering about triple the APRs of that right now. So just to give you an idea. And I was actually sitting this morning thinking about it. Awesome. Woo!
Yes, I love the sound effects, Pete. You're on point, man. I love it. Yeah. Go ahead,
I
LA.
was actually just sitting around this morning thinking about it while I was caffeinating this morning. And
still not done.
Actually, no, I just had my last sip. But right now prices are way down, and we have an opportunity to, over 21 days, while you lock up your eShare in the new single staking eShare farm, you have an opportunity to earn above industry standard APRs right now for locking up your eShare. And as you know, who knows how long the market's going to take to improve, but as the market improves, your eShare is locked up, which means you don't have any temptation to sell it if you get emotional when things happen in the market. So you're earning excellent returns while you wait for that asset to appreciate. And just to give you an idea, eShares were worth $3,000 at their peak. And there's an excellent buying opportunity right now where you could potentially more than 10x at one point if we return even, 2/3 of the way back to where we were, right? I'm not a math person, so that might not be 100% on point to the exact decimal place or whatever, but you get the idea. There's an opportunity to earn excellent rewards while you're waiting to get back to ideal market conditions.
Yeah, no, 100% LA. And again, we never give financial advice, and obviously, we don't know the time frame, but we are very confident that we will see the results that we've seen in the past. So and really it's because there is inherent value in eShare. And again, not to get too much in the weeds again, but the only way to make more EMP in our ecosystem is through eShare. And once we're above peg again, that is when eShare has an incredible value, because if you own eShare, you can mint new EMP, through a specific set of rules. And because of that, and because of a very low supply on eShare, that's another thing through the staking contract and other contracts in our platform, there really is not a lot of eShare in circulation. So we could see massive price appreciation once there is a little bit more life in the overall market. And even now, I mean, that's another thing. Like, everybody is so doom and gloom right now in the overall crypto market, but you can earn at this very moment, like LA said, up to 3 times industry standard APRs with exposure to Ethereum and BNB. And again, I think people don't realize how good of a system we have built that really isn't reliant on the success of the overall crypto market. And just imagine the returns when we see ETH and BNB and the overall crypto market recover. So and again, just to reiterate, we are built on sustainability. I mean, we've been running for 10 months straight now. Like I said, we have over $6.5 million of liquidity, over 14 million in TVL total value lots in our ecosystem. So under the secure conditions, we are still extremely healthy, and hope that a lot of you, this is your first exposure to EMP. We would love to have you join our academy, learn a little bit more, maybe pick up an NFT so you can earn hands off while you learn about our ecosystem, and then we say you can earn while you learn here at EMP. So yeah, amazing stuff. And I know we have a guest as well. I know we have about 5 minutes left, but we do have an amazing partnership with Splinterlands. And so Steve Arator, Steve, are you on, brother? I don't know. I kind of put you on the spot here, but I would love for you to maybe do a quick overview of how EMP can be utilized in Splinterlands, and also your academy courses. So yeah, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, man, loud and clear.
Yeah, so I got involved with EMP a little bit after the partnership with Splinterlands came about because they have a really unique partnership between the two projects. You can buy EMP tokens or earn them on the EMP platform, and you're able to buy credits within the Splinterland system, which then allows you to get more Splinterland assets. Now, you would think that means both projects are just going to be earning each other's tokens, dumping them into the market. Whoever ends up with more hurts the other project. Nope, not this time, because they have created a partnership where the treasuries will talk to each other, trade the tokens back and forth with each other, and never dump them. This creates the infinite splinter loop that we talk about within the system. You can be farming EMP tokens, using those to go ahead and buy Splinterland assets, or farming other assets to buy EMP tokens to buy Splinterland's assets. And it's a never ending way to just keep growing both of assets on both platforms. And so it's pretty incredible. And then to further the partnership, they had me create a series that is a little bit more dedicated towards current investors in EMP, but it's an introduction to Splinterlands, a breakdown of the partnerships, an understanding of all the different ways to earn money in Splinterlands, the different third-party tools that are out there for the Splinterlands users to use, so that hopefully that anybody in that system or anybody that just wants to learn these things can watch a little 5-video series. There's a few questions you take. You get a certification after you're done. And then the team at EMP is being nice enough to do giveaways to the people that take the time to learn about the Splinterlands ecosystem and the partnership that they have with EMP.
Yes, absolutely, Steve. Amazing, brother. And you absolutely killed it on those those videos. And yeah, to Steve's point, not only again do we offer an academy about EMP directly, but now how it relates to the Splinterlands ecosystem. And I see Steve has this awesome Rooney avatar. And so yeah, anybody that takes that Splinterlands Academy within our protocol, we will be giving away a Rooney at the end of the month. So you have another week or
Nice.
two. Yeah, you have another about 2 weeks to take that class. Again, it's 100% free. It's about 5 videos. It shouldn't take you more than an hour to get through it all. And so you could be eligible for winning a Rooney at the end of November. So yeah, we're really big on, again, education. And Steve has done an amazing job explaining that. And yeah, I mean, I'm an OG Splinterlands whale. I've been a Monster Maverick from pretty much day one. I have literally $1 million portfolio in Splinterlands, and
That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, totally. Well, so and really, I mean, we have always been big on working with Aggie and Matt, one on one to help both ecosystems. And like Steve said, because of our long-term vision and partnership, this is something that helps both communities. I know we brought in almost $300,000 of new investment into Splinterlands, and the Splinterlands community has also gotten very involved in the EMP ecosystem to build their own assets through everything that Steve just explained. So it really is a win-win, and we'd love to continue to have all of you get involved, and we're not going anywhere. So again, 10 months in, and we have a roadmap for the next 10 years. So we're
That's
really excited.
amazing.
Yeah, no doubt,
All right.
Waffles. So thanks so much for having us. I
Yeah, of
know
course.
we're running out of time here, but I am going to hang out if anybody has any other questions. But we love Digicon, and we're happy to be another presenting sponsor on Digicon 12. So, and we'll be here for 13. I guarantee it. So.
Oh, for 13, we are putting on hold though, but we are we're gonna try to do something.
All right, awesome.
So yeah, we're still looking bullish, just like you guys. You guys have a lot of great things planned, even crammed up until the end of the year. So it's a lot of exciting stuff, and it's very
For
different
sure.
from what everybody else has been feeling like, in the current like space of the industry. So it's amazing to see all this positivity.
Yep, 100%. Well, and again, we love our community. I know just like Splinterlands, and we live and die by our community. And again, I think that positivity carry us through with everything we do. So.
And for those of you who want to stick around and chat a bit on the stage, we haven't even gotten to mention the generator yet.
Yeah, totally. So we do have another partnership with Splinterlands with a contract where you can earn SPS as well. So we're going to hang out for a while. If anybody has other questions, feel free to join us. So thanks again, everybody. Pete,
Thank
good
you
to hear
so
from
much.
you, brother. Thank you, brother.
Likewise. The EMP team always innovating and always giving easy access to get, you know, further liquidity, right? Just to diversify what you can. I always love when people are doing things that are just kind of leveraging what other projects are doing, because that's ultimately how this is just going to continue to grow. So thank you again so much for your time. Waffles, where are we going next?
All right. We're going to go see Mammoth Mythics with Jake and Jack, the co-founders, in the Nifty Blocks Hall. We will see you there.
All right, everyone.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye. All right. Before we get over there, I just want to put on the screen what I think is what everyone is looking for. You can now unlock the Byzantine kitty. All you have to do is head into the options, customize your avatar, and type in the code SPSBizKittyPlush 2022, and you will get the handheld plushie. I know some of you have already gotten the hat, and I know you've been asking us, like, how do we get this handheld plushie? There it is. There's the code. It's only going to be on screen for a temporary moment, but if you want to be able to add that to your inventory, now's your chance to do that now. The screen is going to disappear in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's gone. Be right back. All right, we have a lot going on in the schedule today. We are now heading into 3:30 Eastern, where we'll be speaking with Mammoth Mythics, with Jake and Jack, who are both the co-founders. We'll be talking about Agartha and other games that they have been working on. If you love stick art, you love shooters, just love all the fantastic design that comes into the work that's done with these GameFi play to earn ecosystem, then this is definitely a talk that you want to be prepared for. Please tell your friends, share it out. You can go to digicon.com to get into the virtual world where you can meet people, meet game devs in real time, and have some fun. There's activities. You can go fishing. You can unlock some skins for your avatar. You can earn some digital collectibles. There's airdrops. And also, what I need to mention is that there is the scavenger hunt, which I need.
We've not actually done live gameplay yet. So
I was panicking because I pulled up the old one.
All right, they're ready to go, and I don't want to keep them waiting because it's already 4 minutes past the time we were supposed to begin. So we're going to talk about the scavenger hunt as soon as we get back as soon as we wrap up with a conversation with Mammoth Mythics. Let's go.
Games marketplace as well. I'm really looking forward to this, actually.
We all are, Jack. We all are.
We've been busy. I know it doesn't feel like we've been busy in this crypto winter /FTX crash.
Is winter coming? Or is it already here?
Just wanted to highlight. All right, let's get right into it as we're in the live stream. We have Jake and Jack from Mammoth Mythics co-founders. Look at them rocking their awesome purple hair. I'll let them take it away.
Yeah, apologies, man. I've never stumbled saying 2 words simultaneously. I love the alliteration, but I have trouble saying my own name because it starts with P on both. But the double M's, you're catching me, and I feel kind of silly. But kudos to you, because this is really gonna help me with my ability to present these things. But anyhow, Sarah, I really just want to comment on some of the memories that we've had from last time when we met with you. I remember Stikra. I remember the shooter that you were working on, and then as I came in, I also heard you mention about live gameplay. What are we gonna expect?
So I did just talk about this briefly, but our sort of schedule for today is going to be a bit of Agartha gameplay. So this is going to be one of the builds that we've got that is about to go into its demo, and will be connected to Agartha.game. Agartha.game is the online in-game marketplace connected to this. And then to make it all full circle, Karma Stikra is actually the vehicle into Agartha, because we've got 100,000 NFTs, and we've been working quite tirelessly with a partner that we aren't allowed to mention due to their boundaries that they've set, which is fine. But we've got smart contracts in place that essentially move those NFTs into mutable items for the game as a loyalty scheme, and then you can build out. But I'll touch on that in more detail because I know we're strapped for time, so I want to get Jake in to share his screen and then take it away with some gameplay. And I'm going to sit here eating curry, if that's all right.
That sounds delicious.
That sounds good.
Right, so I'll just share my screen, guys, and just let me know if you can see this. Am I all live?
You are live.
Amazing. So again, I'm just going to take you through again. There's going to be a lot of different features added. We're leading up into the demo, but this just gives you a bit of an idea of how it will. How the game will be set out for that demo, and what kind of things to expect. But again, Jack, jump in at any time, because again, we obviously are going to have blockchain integration with this entire game at some stage. Obviously, that is the point. But there's many other facets to it. So just add my my weapons to my inventory.
Yeah. So why Jake plays around and he gets the good job, I'll do the articulation of what's going on here. So Agartha is going to be an open world MMORPG. It is built on Unity, and it's off chain, and then the player decides when to call upon the blockchain to do the call of action. So this helps us keep the resources low, because again, for an MMORPG, we need it to run very smooth. So the actual call to action for any marketplace operations is done by the player, and it's all through their control. So essentially, all the items that are in your inventory, unless moved into what will be a built-in browser that calls upon the blockchain, that's when then you can start transferring these into NFTs, and they're dynamic NFTs as well. So they're mutable, completely adapted throughout your gameplay, which we're really excited about, because this is what we believe to be the hybrid of gaming. So traditional MMORPG, as you would expect, but because it incorporates blockchain technology, i.e. using digital assets as ownership, which you can trade, rent, and whatever you want to do, all these things then need to be tailored to what you do in the game, right? So for instance, if you're changing your attributes, adding weapons, adding armor to your character, changing different parts of that character to suit your gaming behaviors, well, that needs to be recorded within the NFT. So these will be done through mutable NFTs, DNFTs, whatever you want to call them. So when you then want to rent and trade or whatever you want to do with them on the actual marketplace, it's pretty much a one-on-one, or as close as you can get. So it's going to be different to everyone else's that's playing, because they're playing differently, right? So there's thousands, if not millions, of possibilities, and all these different types of things that you can do within the game. and then you can obviously own that asset and profit from it. So I'll go into a little bit more detail with the reward structure and stuff, because it's not a play to earn and it's not a play and earn. It's a hybrid. This is what we feel like the direction of gaming should be when it's connected to the blockchain.
The benefit of a hybrid, and I thought that it was really interesting at the beginning of the event of what we were discussing about people in the traditional world being cautious about moving over, and we think that obviously a big vehicle in order to encourage people to do that is gaming. So again, it makes sense to make a hybrid version to make them more comfortable. Again, get rid of the stigma around the terminology around play and earn, play to earn, even the word NFT. These are digital commodities and utilities that you've already seen. It's just you get true ownership in this context.
Yeah, play to own. I can see that's been written in the comments. That's a perfect way of describing this. So, yeah, this is what we're really excited about. This is what we've been building. The market itself has took a hit, and which has caused us, as Splinterlands also and Agro mentioned earlier, it's made us think about our burn rate, and it's made us think about our sort of runway. So things have slowed down naturally because of the environment we're in. But that doesn't mean that we've shelved everything that we've done. We've actually pivoted to bring something forward that was going to be a little bit further down the line. And that's actually the marketplace, which we're really, really, really excited about. And that's the smart contracts that I mentioned, with what we've been building with a partnership that is a well-known business within the Web3 industry. But again, we have to wait for their decision to talk about it when we launch. And yeah, essentially these smart contracts are going to help you with the early access through Karma Sticker, because there's 100,000 NFTs. So we need to put those to use and give something back to the community that are already invested into this project, which is our first project. And the perfect thing to do is bring them into the in-game marketplace, which can then be blended into other factions around it. And there's loads of different features of the marketplace. But when Jake finishes sharing his screen, I'll do the bit of a presentation. It is on there as well on our stand, but I'm just going to jump through and share my screen and do it that way as well.
Let's move on from there then.
I don't know if the frames per seconds on the screen's been great, guys, but I hope that's I hope you've been able to see the gameplay and what we're doing there. So I know it's been a bit choppy.
I can accommodate. Yeah, I've been following along and actually playing the footage from the video that's here that you've uploaded into your exhibit, and that's been running great. It looks fantastic. If you want to see it, just play the video. Guys, you can see it independently. You'll be able to see some gameplay footage there. Yes, of course I want to shake hands with you, Joey. Yes, thanks, friend. I appreciate it. So I am also going to pull up the slide, the images that you have uploaded here, and I'm going to follow along while you're also sharing your screen. So please carry on.
Actually, if you're going to do that, I've got a bad echo. Has anyone else got a bad echo? Is it just
that could be if you mute the live stream, you might be getting the echo through there. So just go ahead and mute that, and you'll be able to see which slide I'm on.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. So now you brought up that slide, that might be actually better. I'll actually just give you the directions of the slide so I can say on this this screen, which is cool. Okay, so
Oh, are we that boring? Be Ouija's?
Let's time to wake up. Let's
Yeah.
wake up.
Yeah. I waited 6 hours for this, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Getting into the Ice Age, yeah?
Yeah, so again, this game itself, right, we want to make sure that everyone understands that there's different instances to this. So it's an MMORPG. That means there's going to be campaign, and there's also going to be online, and then what we want to call the open world, which is essentially the metaverse, but that will be at a later date when we've got these first two models working. So this is a little bit of a storyline feature, which we can skip past because people can sort of look at that in their own time, because I'm really worried about time. And I want to get to the good stuff, which is going to be connected to the actual Agartha.game. So we've done a soft launch around this, okay? Now, essentially, this is the marketplace that brings everything full circle, and this is what people will be when playing the game, when they want to call upon the blockchain, this is where they all come. Some of our characters, 2 that we've released so far. And they've obviously got storylines and they've got plots behind. So you'll want to make your decisions around these. So these are some of the core features. I sort of mentioned this when the gameplay was going on. So one of the main core features of this is the mutable NFT system that's going to be in this, because we want to be able to shape those NFTs based on every single individual and how they operate within the game, because that should be what ownership is about. So that's how we feel like proper MMO hybrids are going to be in the future, and that's probably one of the technologies that's going to stand the test of time. The word NFT, I'm sure everyone understands, is sort of stigmatized at the minute, and there's a little bit of worry around that word. But we're trying to move away from that and just focus on in-game items that are digital assets and that hybrid gaming. So it incorporates blockchain. And then you've got all the other sort of core features that we've got on there as well. So you've got your decentralized parts, then you've got your gameplay parts, and I can't read the last bit, even though I've written this out, but the technology bit, which is obviously the main part. So then we go on to, if you don't mind, next slide. Should have game features. So game features, like I said there beforehand, we've got the campaign, online, and open world. So the open world is the metaverse. We'll be moving towards that in the future. So there's going to be mini game sandboxes inside that. And through land purchases, whether dev or so development or retail, you'll be able to actually build within Agartha's mainframe and actually get royalties from it as well through the games that you create within the game. So there's that mini game concept. Our standout feature, which I can't wait to drop this into the game. So this is Titan battles. So I always like reading this out. So large numbers of players are tasked with creating a united front to contain the largest creatures that roam the lands of Agartha. Each Titan comes with its own unique threats, which each army will have to try and overcome with either tactical prowess or sheer unyielding force. Large prizes up for grabs in these all-out war scenarios, so make sure your contribution to bringing down these behemoths earns you a spot on that leaderboard. So that's something that we really can't wait to sort of add into the MMORPG sort of genre and do these mass online sort of Titan battles. That's one thing.
So it's basically going to be like a raid. Like everyone's like joining in together. We're just going to raid this gigantic like boss or like Titan, right?
Yeah, but there's a little twist there as well, because there's going to be kamikaze modes inside. So
so you can obviously attack each other to stop each other getting the points, because obviously you'll be rewarded on the leaderboard based on damage that you've done.
Yeah, and there'll be bounties on top of people's heads as well. So there'll be like, if they're racking up points and you take them out because they're not using their shields or whatnot, then you can actually take the points off them. So not every single Titan battle will be that way, but say the strengths and weaknesses of these Titans, they'll be able to sort of turn players against themselves as their strength.
And you'll know beforehand so that you can equip your character to make it more susceptible. So obviously those Titans are going to have certain weaknesses. For example, if it was a tree goblin sort of creature, then obviously you'd want a flamethrower is going to be more susceptible because it's a wood creature or something like along those lines.
Yeah, so very tactical, very thought-provoking. So that's something we're really looking forward to. Yeah. So again, this slide's just touching on the gameplay a little bit like what Jake showed. I think the best thing to do though is just go and watch that video. I think the gameplay will be running pretty smoothly on that as well. Being early pays, okay? So this is our transition for Karma Sticker, okay? Now, these Karma Sticker packs will gain access to Agartha's marketplace, and we've actually added a 100% value bonus to these packs. So you won't be getting... So the way we've worked this is Agartha loyalty points are based on the probability of the rarity of each NFT, without trying to sound confusing. It's all very self-explanatory when the marketplace goes live, so very simple, and you'll see all the different types of calls and APIs there to showcase these things. So you'll be getting more value essentially, because we want to obviously incentivize people to burn these packs into the marketplace and begin their journey into Agartha. Now we're going to have a quick look at what we've actually been building. And then, yeah, every Karma sticker at NFT is now mutable. Burn your collection and receive Agartha loyalty points. And there's actually 100 million points for this beta phase of the marketplace. So this is, I don't know where you are because I'm looking on mine, but yeah, loyalty pays. Okay. The only place to build out your inventory for the upcoming mythical MMORPG with blockchain implementation. And then again, like I've just touched on there, welcome to the marketplace. Interact with each section to add in-game items to your inventory. Now, this is going to be sort of, there's 3 to 4 solid beta features within this marketplace, which is going live on the 16th of December. So we've got some time between then, because obviously we're still building that out.
That's less than a month.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's good. Well, we actually wanted to really try and get it done by the 25th of November, because that's our 1-year anniversary as Mammoth Mythics. So, but
we tried to get it done for this weekend.
Well, yeah, that was just never.
That was unrealistic, though. Yeah.
Yeah. So what we have done is done the soft launch of the website. So the website's live, but it's all placeholders, and there's no interaction with the actual website as yet. So we just wanted to show people. So yeah. Then if we go on to loyalty, always has its perks. Okay, so this is literally going to be the page where you log in, your Agartha loyalty card will become activated. Then you'll be able to blend your Karma sticker NFTs, and then all those mutable points, so them loyalty points, Agartha loyalty points, will then be transferred to your loyalty card, and then those loyalty cards can then be spent in the market. And that's what we're really excited about, because you can't just come to Agartha.game and sort of load up your loyalty card. There's only one way of getting this loyalty card, and it's through the Karma sticker collection. So all those people that have been holding Karma sticker cards, and there's been utility, you've been able to stake them and earn myth. But now this is the real big push towards the actual big momentous that is Agartha. And all these things now, all that money that you've spent on these packs, not only are you getting 100% value bonus on top of them, but you're getting early access into this marketplace, which no one else will be able to have unless you purchase these packs. So yeah, and then rewards. Okay, so this is what's really exciting as well. So there's a special smart contract being built. So if you blend on Nifty blocks, you'll still get the mutable points. So you'll still get the loyalty card loaded up with the Agartha loyalty points, but you won't get XP. So this incentivizes people to go to the marketplace, Agartha.game, and then do it through this, because then you'll actually earn XP. These XP points are then, you're able then to purchase tickets, and then these will be what you can then trade essentially for Agarthian treasure boxes. Now, inside those treasure boxes aren't what's in the marketplace. The actual marketplace is where you can build your in-game inventory, but this is OG stuff. So this is stuff that's extremely rare. So you won't be able to get this anywhere else. So it's only part of the loyalty system. So these will be like level ups for the character. So when you're playing an MMORPG and you play through the game itself and you start leveling up your player through the XP that you get it, well, this is the same concept. But without playing the game, you can do it through this. So it actually gives you that leg up essentially to when the Agartha goes live, you're going to be able to go straight in and you're already so much better than other people. So that's something we're really, really looking forward to seeing. And then we go over to control the marketplace. So you purchase with your Agartha points. It's that simple. So each Karma sticker NFT will vary in points based on its rarity. Use these points to purchase in-game items directly connected to Agartha before any public sale. It pays to be early. Now, when Agartha goes live, there'll only be probability drops. So everything that you purchase will be like the pack system that you do get on Wax anyway. So if you buy a character, you don't know you're buying one of the 10 characters. It's based on probability. So for instance, the Mythics, you're looking at less than 10% chance. So with the actual marketplace, you get to control that. Because you've got points, you can specifically purchase the exact character, weapon, consumable, enhancement, whatever you want. It will be in there, and you'll be able to purchase that with your points. So you'll actually be able to build the inventory that you want, and you won't be able to do that once the Agartha goes live. So that is something extremely specific for these early adopters.
Community.
Yeah, and the existing community. And then one of the really good things is now we have capped Myth at 1 billion for staking and prizes before we do any IDO and ICO, because there's 10 billion in total. Now, with that 1 billion, we've got around 800 million now in staking protocols. So everyone that's already in Karma Sticker has been reaping the rewards, been getting Myth, and been, doing what they want with it. A lot of people have got some big bags as well. So when that ends, all the remaining up to that 1 billion in Myth will be going then into the leaderboard system. So if you interact with the marketplace, you'll be able to climb that leaderboard. So the leaderboards will be split into both weekly and monthly tables, both offering different reward levels. Now, it won't just be Myth in these. There'll be NFTs and collaborations with other projects to give their NFTs, their token, all these different things. So it's going to have variety as we go through what we call the beta seasons. So yeah, the only way to climb these leaderboards is interact with Agartha.game and start burning and blending those NFTs. Okay. Now, I must stress as well, the actual burning and blending is not live. Them smart contracts aren't live yet. So please, if you buy packs, do not do any burning or blending until the 16th of December. Just
good advice.
Just keep,
okay.
Yeah, just keep them, because you do not want to lose any points that you could have got, especially now they've been 100% bonused. And then we wanted to do this because we wanted to reminisce when Wax was a little bit stable, around 10 cents per token. So we're pretending it still is, and packs are priced in Wax throughout Digicon to represent the good old days. So they used to be $20, so that would be 200 Wax. So now, and then with the Agartha value bonus, the Mammoth packs are worth $48 worth of Agartha loyalty points, and you're getting them for around $11 at the minute with the Digicon sale. And then the Mythic pack is brand new, so that's 60 NFTs. So inside that, you've got 3 Mammoth packs. That's normally going to be at $55, but that's actually got $146 worth of Agartha value, which is crazy. I don't know why we're doing it, but we're doing it because we want to get people interested, Yeah, we want to get people building out that inventory. So when this demo drops and they can start playing into the demo, this is going to be something that they can start using different characters, adding different weapons into it, and all these different things, and it makes it really special then. And it's good content as well for when we actually go live and do the actual private sales around Agartha. We're already going to have this tight community that are already in there and already reaping the rewards. They don't have to participate in any sort of whitelisting for character drops or anything like that. So that's something that we're really looking forward to. And then obviously Digicon swag, dead simple. We've now got Agartha Game at Agartha Game on Twitter. And we're going to start pushing that promotion through that, because a lot of all our announcements and stuff are going to be through there instead of Mammoth Mythics. So yeah, take part of that. Take a selfie at the Agartha booth, which you can do right now. Head to Twitter, follow Agartha Game, upload that selfie.
Yeah, and also before we get into any questions, if we've got some time, we're also on top of that after this. If you want to stick around, we're going to do some rock paper scissors competitions and giving some packs away. But there are some terms, but you can come and discuss that with us directly.
Yeah.
Oh, this is very exciting, gentlemen. Any closing thoughts before we wrap it up? We do have to get to the next presentation.
Sorry,
yeah. Any final I don't know. You don't want to give up too many secrets, but I always want to leave an opportunity for some teasers.
Well, I would say the only one teaser is, we've just been at the last one, which is DeFi, and that project is really, really good for what it's doing and all the benefits that you get. And one of our things that we are developing as a smart contract connected to the Myth token is where you lock it into basically a DeFi project, but it will be more a GameFi, what we call it. So that's going to help not only stabilize Myth and add liquidity to Myth because it's locked in for a 30, 60, 90, 180 day contract, you will then get the profits from Agartha as airdrops, either pegged either to BNB, BUSD, WAX, whatever it wants to be, because you'll have control over what you want to peg it to. So your payout will be based on the profits through Agartha, and that basically gives you a share within the game as we grow it. So NFT sales, marketplace transactions, anything like that, that's all part of that smart contract. So by actually helping us grow and stabilize Myth and give it that liquidity that it needs against all these different pegged payouts, then you're going to help then make us more stable, help us grow, help us develop, help us keep adding all these things, and then you're going to get the profits with us. So that's something that we really wanted, you know, to emphasize, because it's a mixture of DeFi, GameFi, and all these different things that we're doing to actually help. When you're playing the game, you might as well stake your Myth into these protocols and then give yourselves even profits off that too. So there is a reward structure within Agartha, but there's also this as well. That's more pegged to Myth itself.
That's fantastic. I just want to again thank you so much, Jake, Jack, for all your efforts into what I think is going to be an incredible game. I can't wait to get my hands on it and play and earn for myself. I love the idea of hybridizing, right? The ability to play to earn, but also having just a MMO RPG kind of experience. Thank you again. And we're going to wrap it up here. We got to get over to Crimson Clad. We got coming up next from the Hive Ecosystem Witness. So that's it for, you know, here with Mythic Mammoth, or Mammoth Mythics. See?
We get it.
I'm going to work on that.
There was a hashtag that said Mythical Mammoths. So that was, I think that's where,
We've changed it now to Chosen Ones, because again, the storyline. So yeah, it's cool. Thank you, everybody, for being
absolutely
here.
Brilliant. Thank you again, gentlemen. I appreciate it. And we will see you around in Digicon. Please hang out here if you got some questions for them. Also, take part in the giveaways, the Digicon swag. There's lots of opportunities for you to get some of these drops and take advantage of some of these promotional offerings. But go ahead. Let's head on to the next one. Sarah, we'll see you there on the stage. Crimson Clad's coming up next, guys. See you there.
Thanks, guys. Enjoy.
All right, we are on stage. Crimson, if you would be so kind to just join me in the presentation. It looks like you already have permissions to be able to do that. I saw your name just turn green. That button is going to be in the lower left. It's going to look like
it's like in the middle. It looks
stage
like a bed.
ish.
It's next to the microphone icon at the bottom on the left.
On that center control panel, we will get Crimson in here. Move your avatar so we know that you're alive. Or do we need to resuscitate Crimson Clad?
I'm
Crimson,
sending her a DM right now.
She was just posting on Twitter today.
Oh yeah.
About some of the music and the entertainment that she was participating in last night. I love that she's just a metal fan through and through. But Crimson, if you're having any issues there, just go ahead and ping Waffles over on Discord. Yeah. We can shift gears over there and just have everybody watch the live stream if for whatever reason you can't get on stage. Let's go ahead and just double check that she has her speaker capabilities to be able to get in here.
Yeah, I just double checked. She has a speaker role, so it shouldn't be an issue.
Awesome.
Should we restart the stage? Like maybe check if we can hear her there?
Yeah, let's end the presentation and we'll step off stage. All right, what about here? We just ended that. Hey, Crimson, can you hear us?
Oh, wouldn't let you up. Okay.
It wouldn't let you up? Oh, no. All right, and one last trick. One last trick. if you go to the URL address for this event at the top, there's a little lock that's there. Click that lock, and you can find the microphone and block it, and then re-allow it. And your browser should regain control over your microphone, because I know we're using lots of different apps to be able to speak.
Yeah.
And that's usually the quickest way to get your microphone to work. And that's a tip for everybody else too. If you find that you can't talk to anybody, that's a really quick fix where you don't have to, refresh your browser and load back in. All right, we did have some highlights throughout the event. We hit some interesting milestones where we had about 1,000 people or more. I think we're now up to 1,100 or more. I'm on the page. I could go look at it myself. But that continues to grow with your participation and with you obviously sharing and spreading the message that these virtual conventions are an interesting place for people to connect. You get to learn over 90 exhibitors that each are developing their own project and launching their own, digital collectibles, their own campaigns. There's so many ways for you to participate. That's why this event, I think, is so special to everybody, because they're learning all about those projects and ways that they can get involved. It's more than just collecting, right? They want you to be a part of it. There's even some that are hiring, despite whatever is happening in the crypto world, right? The bear market is a time where people start to really put their heads down and build, because they know that it's just a matter of time when that rebounds and you're able to do more. Because this isn't going anywhere, guys. This is just going to continue to grow, and there's going to be a lot more opportunity to have fun in these events and give and be creators. So let's get her. I'm going to make her a moderator. How's that sound? And then see what happens there. Her name just turned orange.
All right, so the presentation started, but I can't hear her. I like what Max Power just said.
But we can't hear you yet, Crimson. Let's figure out why. Maybe we can jump on Discord with her, and then we can just get to the fun. It's only 7 minutes in. That's all right. I don't think she's actually connected to voice.
Yeah. Let me try to troubleshoot real quick on Discord with all three of us.
All right, we're gonna switch over to Discord and pull up the cameras that way.
Hey. We could see you, but we can't hear you, and it doesn't look like you're connected to the chat in the space. You can hear the room ambient audio and no other.
Yeah, we're trying to feed those internet gremlins. I will continue to wait for her. This is going to be worth it, because I will just say, and I want to recall the last time that I had a chance to spend time with Crimson inside this event, that her enthusiasm for Hive and just for the ecosystem in general, and I'm sure all of you who have known her and have come to listen to her live stream. She does this over Twitch. She's got her own YouTube channel. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. We're just going to wait for her to. Yeah, some of the past interactions that we've had with Crimson, I don't know if you remember the last time that we met with her. I love how much enthusiasm that she has. She has a true, genuine love for the people that are building, not only on Hive Engine, which is Splinterlands is one of them that is all built on Hive. But there's some interesting things in the works that I don't know if she wants to talk about that today, specifically with the NFT gallery. But maybe we might touch on that. I'm not gonna steal her fire on that one. But there we go. How's that? Yeah, okay. Maybe you can hear me again. I was muted. But while we had a fantastic conversation with her last time where she talked about kind of how the Hive bridges the ecosystem. So even if you play one game on Hive, right, they have their completely separate NFTs and the collectibles that you can get over there. That means you have opened yourself up to the entire Hive ecosystem so that you can participate in other games. Even though you're earning over here, you can also take what you've earned from one particular game and bring that to the rest of the ecosystem. I've seen their city builders, right? I've seen a lot of the collectible artwork that has been brought in over Hive Engine. Splinterlands is also there. I mean, that's just kind of the beginning, right? The very early stage about what I've seen there. How are we doing now? Let's see. Is she with us?
I had her end the presentation and see if she can talk in here. I'm trying to see, where did Krim go?
Krim, are you with us?
See, she's in the instance. She's listed in the instance, but she's not talking.
Ah, I see. So she's still not connected to the voice chat, which when I see that happen, that usually means that something in the browser is blocking her from being able to connect to the voice server. So what I would recommend is if she has either an incognito browser that she could open up or try a different browser if she's on Opera. Maybe try, Chrome or Edge. That might help get her in. If anyone else runs into that problem, that might also be a blocker or an ad block of some kind that might exist that occasionally pops up. Yep. The shield that exists on Brave, that might also block. And this is a common thing with a lot of browser-based ecosystems. Because the browser is not it's not going to take priority over your devices. So if your headphones or microphone are not working, generally that's what happens. It blocks it. If you use Discord or if you just got out of a Zoom call or Google Meet, it's very common where the browser will just come in secondary and it's like, oh, I'm not going to use your microphone or headphones on this next conversation. Yeah, and so you just gotta know the tricks in order to set those up. But Krim is now on stage. And yeah. Oh, there it is.
I can hear you this time. This seems okay.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Welcome back. Yeah, the internet's not going to stop you, Krim. There's nothing that I think that can happen. Yeah, you survived Vegas.
I did.
You made some moves there. I love that you participated in that. I'm sure you and Waffles are going to have your own side stories about what happened there. But for those that don't know you and that, heard me, kind of shill what you do, and because I absolutely love you, I think that you're one of the most enthusiastic people that have been a part of sharing the message about what the tools that not just Hive Engine, but the entire ecosystem kind of brings to the GameFi, digital collectibles, etc. I could speak your praises all day. I hold you up in high esteem like I do with Sarah, and just one of the tremendously hard workers that truly loves what you do. So enough of blushing. I'm not here. I don't want to put you on the spot or anything, but I think this is a good opportunity to just level set, right? Let's level set for people and just start from me. What it is that you really do. Go ahead and kick it off for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So my apologies. I absolutely changed nothing. I entered the room, came back in. Now we're working. tech snafus are just part of running a big, awesome event like this. So it's always amazing to see what you guys put together, everybody that comes out, the way the hall looks. So thank you to both of you and to all the team behind the scenes that are making this work. So I probably know a lot of you guys. We've probably met here over the Neener nets before, but my name is Crimson Clad. I have a meat sack world name too, but a lot of what I'm going to talk to you today about is the Hive ecosystem. And probably one of the most important parts of that is that your wallet address is a self-sovereign identity. And we'll talk a little bit about what that means. Most of you are already in crypto. You're already in the gaming space. You kind of have an idea of how your screen name and your assets interact. But so for you guys, you're going to know me as Crimson Clad. And I got involved in the Web3 space and specifically with the Hive blockchain a long time ago now in crypto. And I know for a lot of you guys, you are very aware that the crypto space feels a little bit like it's on fire right now. And not always in a good way.
Oh, you know what I'm saying, huh?
Yeah, just a T-sip. It's fine. Everything's fine as, the world has gone insane. And, it's one of those things that when we have these events, while this craziness is happening, that it reminds you that there are parts of crypto that was built above and beyond the financial aspect. And that's a really important part of Hive and a lot of the blockchains that have not only survived a long time, but are going to survive into the future. What can they do for you, especially when the markets are down and the crypto bros that are just trading the magic internet beans are having a meltdown? What about the rest of us who have gotten into this space and fallen in love with it? So I am a long-time blockchain enthusiast, and I've been working with the Hive blockchain since inception. I work in outreach and global operations. And what that means is I do a lot of volunteer work. I talk to people like you. I fly around the world to conferences to talk a little bit about what's possible with Hive, but also I basically work with exchanges, businesses, up and coming games. I do a little bit of everything. And my goal is to connect all of the people that want to build on Hive and want to use Hive to make their life better. I want to connect them to everything that needs to happen to make it so that Hive becomes a part of your gaming life, your social life, your tech life, and maybe even sort of your financial life. So with that being said, the way that I kind of approach this is I often talk a little bit about some crypto ideals. And I know most of you know this, but I'm going to touch on them just to begin with today, because if you were here the last time I talked at Digicon, or if you were lucky enough to check out Splinterfest, then you'll know that I talk a lot about how Hive is a truly interconnected ecosystem. Now, you guys know what it's like to have a wallet address, and you also know what it's probably like to have a big long string of numbers and letters that you can't remember. It's not how things work on Hive. You have your wallet address. In my case, it's Crimson Clad. And that is where you send tokens, where your assets are connected. But it's also the place where you are able to create and consume content. Or if you want to connect to a whole bunch of dApps, you can do that. It basically works as an account that can log you in to pretty much anything built on Hive. It's a great thing. And it's very similar in many cases to what you can do in the ETH ecosystem. So with that being said, you've probably had some experience with something sort of like Hive. And especially if you're playing Splinterlands or one of the many other games that are available, you're probably using something like Hive Keychain. Now, that interconnectedness that we've talked about before, how if you play one game, you can use that same wallet, that same identity to go write content. Maybe you want to stream that game. Maybe you want to try out another game, but you don't want to sign up for something new. Whatever you want to, however you want to approach it, you can basically do anything. And I will answer some of the questions that are coming up in chat because I see a couple great ones, but I'm going to save that for the end when we have a bit of time left. The big thing that I want to let you guys know is not just about interconnectedness, but especially right now in the world circumstances that we're in as crypto enthusiasts. being self-sovereign is really important. We have learned that if you don't hold your assets, you don't hold anything. And we know for a fact that when you are trusting an intermediary party to act on your behalf, they might not always do things that are in your best interest. So if you're gaming on Hive and your assets are finally and truly held by you, that's a really big thing. And I want to talk to you about how Hive makes that a little bit easier. Now, obviously, holding your own tokens in a financial sense is huge. You've all heard, not your keys, not your crypto. But think about that in terms of all of the NFTs and assets that you're building up in the games you're playing that are tied to Web3. This is a big one. This is a huge one. We've talked a little bit before in the past, and I'm sure you've gotten, to know many of the people here that are playing other games. But we've talked about how when you own a Splinterlands card, when you're playing a game like Rising Star on Hive or the new Woo game, Wrestling Organization Online, there's a lot of really cool up and coming games. If you ever decide that maybe you don't want to play those games anymore, you want to try another game, there is something really amazing about holding those assets and being able to trade them, sell them, put them away for later, and know that they're securely held alongside your wallet address. You can go do something else. You could leave for years and come back. And even if you're not interested anymore, those assets are still tied to you and they're protected by your keys. So I thought, well, I still have a bit of time today, talk a little bit about Hive security, because this is a thing that feels a little bit scary at first, taking control into your own hands, deciding to play games that are tied to blockchain, and maybe even starting to build up assets in a portfolio on a blockchain like Hive. Hive does things a little bit differently. One of the things that you might know about some of the other ecosystems that have evolved is that you have to be really careful with your keys. And when you log in with a wallet address, you might maybe say a contract is okay and it's not, and it empties your wallet. I want to talk to you about how that's not possible on Hive. And one of the big things that if there's a takeaway that you need to take away today, it's that Hive has a tiered key system. Now that's something that sounds a little scary, but what it means is you actually have multiple keys. And when you have assets on your account, whether they are NFTs, whether they're game assets, or you have a lot of tokens that you've built up with play to earn, or perhaps you are even just voting or creating content on the blockchain, you're building up value. One of the things that happens in some other ecosystems is you've only got one key and you have to be so very careful with it. Hive knows that part of what you're going to be doing day to day is social activities, are gaming activities. And they know that sometimes you want to be able to separate those things out. So if you come out and you have a Hive address, but you're not sure how to use it, or you haven't tried Hive yet, one of the things to keep in mind is that we have a key that is a low tier authority. Sounds like a lot of big words, but what it means is you can use a lesser key to unlock a door to all of the things you want to do in the ecosystem without actually compromising any of the keys that have control over your account, that will make it so that your money can be moved. So when we talk about having these multiple keys, this is a big thing that really makes Hive stand apart from others. And I want to kind of talk about that because we know for sure that a lot of people have had an expensive lesson where they've maybe clicked on an airdrop and all of a sudden their wallet is empty. Or maybe you've made a peer-to-peer trade and all of a sudden everything you have is gone. One of the things that Hive really focuses on is making sure that when you do take those steps, whatever they look like, starting to play games, starting to do social interactions on a blockchain that really values freedom of speech and, an immutable ledger, that you're protected. And everything is about voluntarism. No one can make you do anything you don't want to do on Hive. And that is such a huge part of crypto in general. And it's a big benefit to you, especially if where things are going in the world right now are pushing you towards taking steps to kind of look at how do I start being more responsible for my financial future? Or how do I have an aspect of my life where I am stepping back from some of the censorship of big social media? Or I want to participate in an ecosystem that's built by the community for the community. And I also want to have an impact on governance and know that my governance is decentralized. These are all things that go hand in hand with Hive. And it's so awesome to kind of be able to share that with you. So, as a user, as a game player, if you haven't checked out Beyond Splinterlands yet, or you still haven't gotten a Hive wallet, maybe you've connected to Hive via Splinterlands or another game using an awesome wallet like Wax or one of the other blockchains that you're using. I invite you to take a further step into the ecosystem. And I know because Digicon especially, we're really focused on the gaming portion of things. I want to remind you that Hive has a ton of cool games. And there are a couple specifically that I want to talk about that are kind of up and coming and just starting to build that I think a lot of you guys are going to be really interested in. And the number one is a brand new game that's just in pre-sale right now. And that I mentioned earlier is Woo, Wrestling Organization Online. Now, I'm old school. Maybe I'm going to kind of out myself here as a bigger nerd. Yes, the Ric Flair woo. You have to woo like Ric Flair. So, everybody in chat, whether your mic's on or not, you got to give a little woo. But the reason I bring this up is, you have the great success that is Splinterlands. We love opening packs. We love collecting assets. We love battling, all this cool stuff. But we also really like earning a bit, or we at least like having, this store of value in our assets. Woo is built on the same sort of idea in that you are building a deck of cards that are all territory wrestlers. You're going to be able to own land, have managers, set up fights, build arenas. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a big wrestling fan. So one of the reasons that I bring this up today is that this model is excellent. We know it works for Splinterlands. We know there's so much fun in that you already expected to pay some money, get into a game, build some assets. But play to earn is taking off. And this ability to stake these cards for mining, or, when you decide in the future, I want to have the flexibility to jump from game to game. Well, one of the things you can do very easily is, sell and trade assets, hop into another game. You never have to sign up for something new. You never have to give away any information you don't want to. You have assets that are transferable between all of the games and the services that you want to use. It's your choice. Now, there are a number of other games. There's D-Crops, there's Rising Star, there's Crypto Brewmaster, there's Ocean Planet, I'm going to miss a whole bunch. So what I suggest you do, if you already have a little bit of an idea of what Splinterlands is about, or if you want to check out Woo, or you want to look at some of these other games that are up and coming, go to hive.io. And there's a button that says Ecosystem. Now, it's only a tiny picture of all the things that are being built. But one of the things you can do is go there and sort by games, sort by social, sort by tools, and just see if there's anything that kind of tickles your fancy a little bit. I was going to make a rude hand motion, but I got to remember, I got to be careful. We're on live here, going out on stream.
There's children watching Crim. Oh, no. No, I'm kidding. No, there's probably not.
I'm just saying, I haven't even sworn, which is really good for me.
You've done quite the job.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have the After Effect bleep button.
Oh.
But so the long and the short of it is, I know we kind of lost a little bit of time at the start of the show, and I apologize for that. But I do want to leave a little bit of time for questions, and I do kind of want to hit some of the things in chat. But you guys, it's scrolling by so quick, so I think you've been collecting some, right?
There's some clear distinctions between what is happening in the GameFi, and I think specifically with protocols that are similar to Hive Engine, and what is going on with FTX and SBF and all like those centralized exchanges. Can you just kind of clear up for those that are, just kind of on the edge watching all of the FUD that's happening around there, and what some of those key distinctions are that differentiate what happens here versus what happens there?
Absolutely. One of the big things that we kind of don't always think about day to day is that the way that crypto has kind of evolved is following a pattern that we always follow. There's a reason that banks kind of are what they are now, and traditional finance, as we call it, that TradFi, that's a dirty word, has developed the way it's developed the way it has for a reason. And that's because we're always looking for the best return. We're looking for the best help in maintaining our security because nobody wants to lose assets. But we also don't fully want to take responsibility for ourselves. It's one of the biggest and hardest steps in crypto is to say, I'm in charge. If I mess up, then maybe something bad could happen. In the case of big banks, and honestly, in the case of FTX, and what was happening was you had another party, a centralized party that came in and said, hey, I'll help you out. Don't worry about it. Just give me your crypto. I'll take care of it. I'll protect you. Now, we know that doesn't work in the real world. We know that banks, in a lot of ways, there's a big reason why you do your day-to-day banking stuff, but you're dabbling in crypto. And it's because you want to be able to enjoy both of these things. You want to be able to participate in society, but also you want to have some control over your governance, over your finances. So that's that centralized to decentralized. If you're looking at what happened with FTX and sort of this cascading set of failures, what you're seeing fail isn't crypto. What you're seeing fail is practices from the traditional banking world, the traditional economic world, the government structure, the corporate and centralized structure. We're trying to be recreated in the crypto space. And it turns out didn't work very well. Really didn't work very well. So the failure here is not crypto. We're all taking a hit, but the wonderful thing to remember is impermanent losses. The crypto space, things will go up and down. That's the natural ebb and flow of it. As these centralized players move out, as people start realizing, I can't trust, I want to verify, I want to be in some form of control, these centralized entities will lose power. And the decentralized options that you have will rise. And that's why building in this space, whether it's on Hive or another blockchain, whether it's bringing Web3 into all of the things that you do, there will be sort of this continued renaissance. They haven't killed us yet. And that is something when you think about it, because what an absolute threat decentralized cryptocurrencies, blockchains, ecosystems represents to that established way of life. And this is basically one of the worst situations possible for them in that they, here are some people who tried to recreate the same type of structure, the same type of crappy fractional reserve lending, the same type of hedge funds that are very predatory and problematic in traditional finance. And they brought it here and it failed. It sucks that it took so many people down with it. But part of that is it's even more important for us to continue to educate is when you're here in this space, you have options and a lot of them allow you to take control and protect yourself. And the biggest one is don't give your coins to someone else to hold. You don't have to. And there are a million ways across all of these fabulous projects, Hive especially, to keep those assets under your control, to use them the way you want, and to never, never be in a situation where somebody can whoopsie them out from under you.
People believe the centralized model is how you improve liquidity, right? They want to be able to move their crypto from one asset to the other and be able to do that sometimes in an automated fashion. However, that's gonna cause some risks, right? You're gonna be running into like the traditional model with the old banking kind of method of operations, and they're just trying to do it in the crypto space. And it's like, come on, guys, like this has been going on, right? Enron, right? With the housing crashes back in 2008, those are clear and present criminal activity. It's like somebody breaking into your car, right? Crime is gonna happen. And it's not because of blockchain or crypto, it's because of the value system that they were bringing into that technology that didn't change. They are just behaving the same way that they have always had, and we're expecting that nobody was going to pay attention. But this is where crypto comes into place, is that we get to see it. The smoke has been cleared, the curtains have been pulled back, right? The man behind the curtain can no longer hide. And they are completely naked and revealed to the entire world. So it'll be really interesting. And thank you so much, Krim, for sharing some of the key differentiators, right, that I think is important on how this technology is going to unfold. There are lots of good places to continue to get more information on that one. I thought it was just important for us to bring up in this forum,
Absolutely.
because I know that you like myself, I'm sure you were following kind of the madness that was kind of going on there, because it's it's kind of like a train wreck. You can't help but not look, and just be in awe that it was able to go on that long. I've got a lot of strong
Absolutely.
opinions on that one. If anybody wants to talk with us offline on that one, we'll continue to do so. But we are getting, towards the end of this discussion. But I always love to end these shit sandwiches on a positive note. Oh, we'll censor that one. So what are some of the things that you were looking forward to most, right? As things starts to come back, bear markets, people tend to put their heads down and really build and try to innovate as quickly as we can from one week to the next. Things move very rapidly. What do you look forward to in the coming weeks?
Boy, oh boy. I mean, I already said I never want to see these really important lessons happen at the expense of innocent people. But unfortunately, if you don't learn about history, you're a little bit doomed to repeat it. And so there is one sort of silver lining to all this, and it's because it is so incredibly public, this fascination with what's happened. I'm really looking forward to the amount of new people who will be so intrigued by what's happened, because the reality is each time one of these sort of big bad news situations comes, right? We love dirty laundry. People's eyes are drawn to it, and you cannot buy that kind of attention. So in this case, I'm really excited for people who are critical thinkers and who are kind of looking at the situation and going, something doesn't smell quite right here. What's this all about? Because those are the people that when they come into these markets, especially these markets that are primed for building, where things cost a little less, there's a little bit less competition, you have a bit of breathing room because, it's not the height of whatever the current flavor is, summer, DeFi summer, NFT summer. Right. ICO summer, you've got just a little bit of space without the community being like, when. They'll still do it, but not to the same degree. I feel like the projects that you are going to see emerging in the next 4, 5, 6 months are going to be the ones that dominate this next bull market. And I can't wait because a lot of them are on Hive.
Have
and
to
I'm
do with
biased.
Hive. Let's go.
I'm biased. There it is.
That's awesome.
Okay, Max, we said no more wins. It's going to happen.
Wag me.
We have a question
Let's
from
go.
Joey.
Yes.
How easy is it to join Hive as an Unreal Engine game developer?
Okay. So we have quite a few people coming into the ecosystem who are building on Unreal. And one of the coolest parts about being a social ecosystem is we have a couple of different places that are really great tools for you to kind of hop in and start getting a better feel for what's possible for you. So we do run a Hive developer server. And of course, because Hive is community centric, we actually have a bunch of communities that are built on the social front ends of the platform. You can check those out via PeakD, Ecency, Hive.blog. There are quite a few options. And also we actually kind of take them in and bring them under their wings. So one of the other things that I do as part of outreach is if you're interested in building on Hive, not just getting into Hive, but you too, if you don't have a wallet yet and you want one, come talk to me. But if you want to build on Hive, one of the things that I spend a lot of my time doing is actually working with development teams, whether they're building games, projects, services, interconnected bridges. There are a number of us who are basically just here building ourselves, who are there to kind of walk you through what's possible. And in this next little bit, development and gaming especially, because we are fast, we're fearless, irreversible block times within about 3 seconds, mostly within about 1.5 seconds, really important part of gaming. Come on in. We are really starting to collect a big pile of people building. And I'd love to be able to kind of help you personally or hook you up with another developer. The buddy system works great, and community, what you can build together is so important. And I think it's one of the biggest aspects of what makes it easier to kind of hop in. You don't necessarily have to read a bunch of docs. You could jump in and start talking to people and getting hooked up in these communities to get a feel for what can I build.
And
Yeah.
you kind of answered this question too, just in part of it. The next question from Max Power is, what do you think is the best path towards growth/adoption of Hive? Wait, what do you think the best path towards growth/adoption of Hive is to grow the chain?
Number one is, and this has always been in our hearts, number one in our hearts, but not necessarily in reality up to this point, is that social media is really problematic. And you only need to look as far as the Bird app, which is having a time right now. Who should be allowed to say what? Where do you gather? Who do you hang out with? Social has always been at the heart of Hive, but we haven't always talked about it because a lot of people always just had it as like, oh, you blog and you earn money and it's probably a Ponzi. And that's actually the complete opposite of why Hive was kind of built the way it was. The number one sort of path to adoption right now is people who, and it's not about partisan politics. It's not about tribalism, but often you'll find you type something that gets caught by the algorithm filter and is gone, or you're banned, or you got a timeout. And this is on every platform. It's not just Twitter. It's not just Facebook. It's not just Instagram. It's not just whatever social media you're using. We're starting to realize you just can be taken away from you. And you may not be able to communicate with the people you want. You lose these connections. Social moving forward is a big one. The Like To app is an incredible option versus, say, Instagram. Leo Threads is this incredible option for Twitter-like async, short-form communication, microblogging. If you can think of a social media that you use on traditional Web 2.0, there is a counterpart that is doing something differently and better that allows you to kind of own your data and your voice built on Hive. And for me, people are just now starting to realize, well, what if blank fails? Where will we go together? And the reality is there's probably something on Hive, and that's going to be the biggest space as people start realizing that money isn't everything. We say that a lot, but it's actually true. And only now, as our favorite social medias are declining, we're starting to realize what options do we have that give us back that crypto voluntarism, that give us some control and sort of a part in governance and the ability to say what we want to who we want and to build a granular experience. Doesn't mean you have to put up with assholes. Doesn't mean you have to read stuff you don't want to. But it does mean that when you do make choices, that you're the sole arbiter of what that looks like for you.
Yeah, that's outstanding. And Grim, I just want to say thank you again, for jumping in with us and, spending a little extra time to just kind of evaluate, share your insights. I would like to pause here and invite Weirdbeard on the stage, and maybe we could. Would you be all right hanging around for another minute or so?
Sure. Yeah? I love Weirdbeard.
Yeah. I know you guys are both hanging out in Vegas. Maybe we can get a story about some fun things that happened in Vegas, just like some gaming moments, or
Vegas works.
Maybe maybe you guys saw some interesting things, because I know people like to. I've seen like people walking down the street with just full on big bottles of Grey Goose and they're pouring shots out in there, because that's Vegas. That's what it's okay there. You can just walk down the street and get boozed up and no one's gonna bother you. But it does present its challenges when you do that. But Weirdbeard, all you got to do is press the button in the bottom left of your control panel, bottom center, all the way to the left. Looks like a big fluffy pillow with a quilted bed, but no, it's really a stage with some seats. If you want to click that and hop on stage.
While he's trying to join, there is one question from Fat Jimmy for
Grim. Let's answer it.
Oh, Jimmy, hi.
Where is the best place to take a deep dive to learn about the juicy tricks / perks of the Hive ecosystem, like different tokens, like HBD, staking, interest, etc.?
Well, there are a couple of answers to this, and it kind of depends on what you want to get into. One of the coolest parts about joining either a game or deciding to start with blogging maybe or creating video content is each of these dApps and services often has kind of their own maybe introduction to Hive, because every one of them uses Hive in a different way. So what I recommend is if you're already playing a game, check out their FAQ. If you're already looking at a site, check out their FAQ. Those will give you sort of perfect channel directed information about Hive. One of the biggest ones is if you want to do blogging and you want to learn about everything to do with creating relationships, monetizing content, consuming and curating content, go to peakd.com. Their intro section is fabulous. It talks about all of the tokens, the tokenomics, how your social wallet can also hold Hive Engine second layer tokens. It has integration with lots of the games. But if you want to kind of get a very wide overview of Hive information, there is hive.io, or there is yhive.co, which is another sort of Hive creator site that literally just talks about the benefits and how all these pieces work together. But I would definitely recommend, for those of you who want to maybe check out what's going on, PeakD is a really great beginner interface that has a great FAQ section that specifically kind of talks to you about, oh my gosh, I voted on something and I think I got a little token, but it's dust and I don't know what to do with it now. Help. Big, good place to start.
All right, let's check and see if we've got one more question. We're going to wait for Weirdbeard to refresh his browser.
It worked for me.
Yeah, I really like this comment. I like this comment from Max Power where he said he doesn't trust banks with his money and he doesn't trust the technocracy with social media. I think that there is something coming in the near future where more virtual world engagement will then have better proof of life. There'll be less bots. There'll be less trolls. I've had the best interactions with people in worlds where it feels more like we're back in person than I have over the relationships that I've been having over social media. Weirdbeard, welcome to the stage. Everyone, give him a round of applause. Yes, go ahead, send the reactions. You can even thumbs down. Those are just that makes us laugh. If you give us a thumbs down, we don't take offense to any of that stuff. So if you just want to throw it at us, but this has been such an incredible conversation. I know, Weird, you probably have your own insights into some of the things that you've heard, but we're going to ask Crimson to stay around a little bit just for an opportunity for you guys. All three of you were in Vegas. I just want to kind of sit back and let you guys share during Splinterfest. What were some of your big takeaways from there? Maybe even on the esports side, since we're going to be shifting into Web3 gaming as the next topic.
First, I'll tell you, I saw absolutely nothing outside of the hotel.
Yeah.
Oh, you were just in work mode.
I was up early. I ran around the entire time, and then people were like, "Hey, let's go out drinking," and I'm like, "I need to sleep. Don't talk to me." I was no fun at all.
Wait a minute. You didn't even say you need to sleep. You just stayed until me and Robbie were like, "Weirdbeard, you need to sleep."
I was forced. I was literally kidnapped and told, "Go lay down right now."
No, that's good. Yeah, everyone's got to look out for one another, and that's totally relatable. Like, even if I am exhausted, I'll get into the hotel room and my head's still buzzing, and it seems like the longest 30 minutes until my eyes, until I finally hit sleep mode.
30 minutes. Oh my God, you're lucky.
Didn't
I had
somebody poke
30
you
seconds.
saying, "Did you eat?" during that time?
Yeah, I did. I had people following me around and be like, "Rick, what have you eaten? Hey, have you taken a nap? Hey, have you had water today?" And I felt like I don't know. I felt very like, ooh, I'm being taken care of. But then at the end of the day, I was like, oh, I really haven't done any of that. Like, what's happening here? The one thing I will say, though, my biggest takeaway from Splinterfest was that the power of the Splinterlands community and the Hive community and all of our other wonderful friends there, it was so nice to see it solidified in person, right? Like to see the real people, because I mean, one of the things about esports and competition is like that connection of like going head to head, and I know that like I beat you at this game, you person, you're a real person. And to see all of our friends from the different ecosystems there and in person and like connecting and talking to each other, not using screen names, like it is a powerful kind of like feeling to take away from it.
And I love that and I can't confirm that this is how the order of operation is or the genesis for this, but Digicon was kind of like that, what I felt like the beginning of kind of the relationship building of the ecosystem kind of coming together and celebrating, the Web3 gaming aspect, the play to earn, and then Splinterfest, right? We're like, okay, now we need to take this online and let's open the doors to a brick and mortar, to a facility, and bring all this energy and the momentum together, and just let's saturate in that for a little bit. Let's enjoy what that feeling is like. Are you excited for the next, right? I guess Splinterfest, as esports kind of builds on top of that. What is that sentiment for you?
Anxiety.
That's awesome. No, that's true.
Anxiety. And here's why, because like esports at its heart is a marketing tool, right? Like a lot of people get it confused because they think that it's really more about, like, ooh, you got to have the top pros and be the super good at the game and everything. But esports itself is to show off how much fun and what a high level games can be executed at. So when we talk about Splinterfest 2, like I had a lot of fun at the very first Splinterfest, but we learned so many gaps that were kind of in our knowledge for the game to really be able to not only maximize what we're trying to do, but also being able to talk to our friends on Hive and be like, hey, this would be really cool. Hey, this would be dope. Why don't we try to do things like this? Like it's a lot of I hope this is PG. You can't believe this either. But like the way I described it was like the ayahuasca trip of Web3.
That's appropriate.
Like to really just have people's minds blown out the back and they go, oh, I get it now. You know what I mean? Like that entire thing is because you talk about esports and it feels like it's in this bubble of, like, oh yeah, cool. It's just tournaments. We already have tournaments, right? But no, it's like, it's so much more. And to think about it, we look at some of the large, like Call of Duty World Championships, Halo World Championships, League of Legends and Worlds and all that kind of stuff. And you see the level of like production and care put into it. And like, it's like looking at the top of the mountain and then we've just started our journey, and that's not intimidating. Like it's not like we won't ever be there, but it's like you have to start putting one foot in front of the other to get there and start making it a reality.
Bite size. Yeah. Krim was telling us the other day when we were hanging out together, she's like, you got to take this in bite sizes one at a time. Otherwise, you're just a squirrel with a mouthful of nuts, and you got it. You gotta do.
It's really weird.
You gotta do something with it all. No, you can't help yourself, and nobody can help you. You gotta offload.
Just be careful not to choke, right?
I do have to say, as somebody who got to attend Splinterfest, who has always been sort of in the orbit of Splinterlands, but always sort of on the Hive side of things and not part of the Splinterlands team, what a fabulous job you guys did. It's so fascinating because there isn't a tournament, an esports tournament out there like this. Like you guys are really kind of taking that first real foray for Web3, play to earn, all of the things that we are building new in this space and that are building in the blockchain space, but you are starting to build the gap between that and the established non-blockchain esports world. It is new frontiers, and you guys admirably handled it. And frankly, I'm really excited because I know how much you guys are going to do to deliver on the next one.
Yeah, and it's going to be, and you're right, like when I say esports is a marketing tool, we don't market esports to our own players, right? Like it's the same as an NFL game where like if I were to take my daughter who's 11, who has no interest whatsoever, right? But she would go and she likes the environment, and maybe she hears a player's name that makes a cool play, and that's forever now the player that she's going to think of. Like the way that we bridge the gap between Web 2 players and traditional hardcore Web 3 enthusiasts is you really try to find, like I always say, competition can be described to anybody, right? Like it's easy to understand the concept of one person wins at the end of the day. And
that's right.
Once you get them hooked on that, that's their little taste of like, ooh, what is this? Ooh, a piece of candy. Like they get a little bit more interested every time. And, like we're going to lead them in deeper into the tokenomics, deeper into like, what is the ground level of what the game is. But like at that very top level, you want the dopamine rushes and just the things that make you excited to be like, I don't know what's happening, but I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. It's like you watch UFC.
Take me with you.
SpongeBob, like you know that gif of SpongeBob, and it's like close up to his face, and the eyes are really big, and it's like I need it.
Like yeah, you look at everything that is a traditional sport, soccer, UFC, right? You can get in there and no one really has to explain to you that you're like, okay, there's an activity happening here and there's going to be an outcome and a result at the end of this. And I feel like Web3 gaming is still trying to figure out how to make that super obvious without having to put somebody through a rigorous tutorial and having to spend hours and hours to have to educate somebody. Because I remember spending lots of years filling convention centers for DreamHack and looking at all those components come together. inevitably things are going to slip through the cracks, right? You're going to have
Yeah.
sponsors over here that are unhappy, players over here, their computers malfunction, and it's just a fiasco. Literal LAN catching on fire. I've seen some of the best and the worst things that happen within some of this esports space, and I'm not saying that to add to the anxiety, Weirdbeard, but I had so much fun in watching those experiences because it was a new, unique problem with a solution that wasn't far away to come fix that and make it better and make it more engaging and show that there is an inherent reward system, even if you aren't winning or earning something monetarily. There was a community that was filling a gap, that there was a person out there that didn't feel as comfortable in the traditional sports world, but they loved what was being created in the kind of internet as a lifestyle, the ecosystem in the play to earn space, or playing esports in your favorite competitive game. That entire, I think you're building towards that,
Mhm.
and I think that's going to be incredibly fun for your team.
Yeah, and I think it's again like it's there's not one silver bullet, right? Like it's not like we do a thing and all of a sudden it's like, okay, we fixed it, everybody, time to go home. Call it a day. But like esports makes it so that we can esports can live in that nice the shallow before you really dive deep into web3. You know what I mean? Like you were able to still present tenets of web 2 and integrate web 3 and make it this nice big soup. And you're right, it's not just players, it's educating fans, it's educating our team that there's like a wider world out there, and also going after endemic like gaming sponsors, right? Those large companies that are kind of crypto adverse or maybe a little touchy about web3 and like don't understand what it is. A lot of, like marketing dollars are still controlled by like geriatric old white men and they just don't get it. You know what I mean? Like they don't understand what's out there, but they get that gaming is on the rise and they get competition, right? Like they get the concept that you're trying to explain to them. So like using this as an ability to get your foot in the door with players, with these brands, with like just different promotions, like with outside companies and partnerships. Like I really think esports is the way to mitigate so many issues that people run into when they enter into web3 space, and it feels like they just hit a brick wall because it's like all this education and terminology and like it's just it's heavy, man. Like as somebody that like came in a year and a half ago or so, it's like this learning curve. So we try to use this as the term that's used a lot inside of Splinterlands is frictionless crypto, and it's about making it as easy and simple and everyday as you possibly can. And like, one of the things that we've talked about that may or may not happen with the company is we talk about, like wanting to do a trophy room. So like you win an esports competition and you're able to display an NFT of a trophy saying like, I won this thing. Look how cool that is. People at the end of the day don't care that it's an NFT ZXYBCDD. Like you can call it whatever you want. They just go, I have a cool thing that I get to display and show how much fun it was. And then it's like that may be the top 50%, but the next 50% go, what is this thing? And how, how do I use it? What are the utilities that come from it? Right. So it's like you always are looking for that little bit extra, that ability to like, tease them in. Like I joked about earlier, it's the biggest thing that I want to be able to do is educate people without them even understanding that they're being educated and spoken to, if that makes sense.
I think that they call it when building relationships, they call it like in the traditional business, they call it like a wow factor. Something that draws them in and keeps that relationship going. And I also wanted to mention Max saying, Weirdbeard, whatever you just said, shut up and take my money. I want NFTs, whatever you just said.
$1 billion is coming.
We did just mention this because Weirdbeard nailed it, is that one of the best things for growth in the blockchain space is that you don't actually want the blockchain core dev nerds talking to end users in most cases. And so, just like we were asking, what's the growth path for Hive? It's the same for Splinterlands and esports in general, is that you're contextualizing really esoteric knowledge through something that people want to do, that they love, that they're motivated to do, and that they do on a daily basis. You know how to play games.
Help me make sense of this. Like, Please.
Reframe it in a thing that I love. And in this case, that's Splinterlands. I love card games. I love collecting. I got a big deck energy. Check it out.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's the connector, right? And that's what's really going to help this Web3 space. So it's just Splinterlands is right at the forefront of that.
Yeah, and I think, like, I'm sure that there have been a billion people that have talked about this before me, so I'm not saying anything brand new here, but like Splinterlands is positioned to capture that Web 2 gaming audience the easiest, because the concept of owning a card in gaming through Magic the Gathering, through Hearthstone, through Pokemon, through Yu-Gi-Oh, through all these other, concepts, it's already half done for you. You know what I mean? Like the cake is half baked, so you don't have to fight to get people to understand, like, okay, well, you own the individual cards and the cards can be used and traded for a value that they already get it. So if you already have that headspace jump, you see a lot of other Web3 like projects and games that like are trying to go, oh, it's a shooter game, but then we have to incorporate Web3 mechanics into it. And it's like, okay, well, that just now it becomes harder. And like, with where we're at, the esports scene can be competitive, and I think it can bring in those new people, make people that don't care anything about tokenomics still coexist in that pool of people that go, I don't care anything about it, just give me cool cards, and have them sitting right next to somebody that's like, I only want to talk ROI. Don't talk to me about what this card is used for in battle. Like they can do that meme where they're like shaking hands and everything like that, because it's like esports, I think, is a broad enough term that like it means something different to every single person that you say it to. Like when I first was hired at this company and Agrode brought me on, it was like, hello, this is going to be Weird Beard, a guy with a funky mustache, and he's doing esports. Every single person clowned me. They were like, what does esports even mean for this
The
company?
collective embrace. That's what that is. It's like, you're one of us now.
Yes. And so like it was slowly, I think, changing people's minds and hearts about what we're going to do, right? Like what does esports mean? Because again, it's not just doing more tournaments, and it's not just doing more of like, oh, we're only paying high amounts out to people that are really good at the game. Like esports is more than just the tournaments. It's the path to pro that comes along with it. So
Yeah.
when we first onboard a player, we give them, hey man, if you're really good at the game, one day you could be at the top level. You want to get there, here's how we do it. It's like it's a guide for pushing you through the system and not just letting you sort of float on the top. One of the issues with a lot of Web3 games is that you have all these people that sit at the very entry point, and they just cannot all get through the door because there's nothing like, they either don't know why they have to go through the door, they don't know what's on the other side that's a benefit to them, they don't understand that like there's even a door to begin with because they're just in a crowd of people that all hang out at the beginning. And esports is like gives a moth to the flame effect of being like, hey man, if you're hooked and you like this, here's how we start getting you to get to that very top.
I think this has been a brilliant discussion, and I am eternally grateful. Weird Beard, thank you for jumping in. Crimson, thank you for sticking around and also adding, some extra energy to this conversation. This is, I always love to get to the end of these, and the energy kind of, it's a soft start at the beginning, but then as things carry on, it just really starts to get exciting, and I appreciate all of you for that. Waffles, take us home. What is up next now that we've gotten to the end of the live stream? Tell everybody what they need to do.
Well, don't forget, we have the swag booth in the welcome lounge. Be sure to check that out. The Splinterlands booth, if you haven't checked it out already, there's a slide on how to get a cute Byzantine kitty hat.
I can actually bring that up on screen.
Yes,
I built one.
On the stream for the holdable accessory. We're only providing it here on the live stream. We might provide it again at the after party. So be sure to check that out. Definitely, there's a bunch of stuff. This is barely day 2 of Digicon. I want to make it the best one yet because we are going to have to put Digicon on ice. So definitely bring all your friends. We already hit 1,000 people. Let's get it up to 2,000. I don't know if that's going to happen, but let's see if we could do that. And honestly, thank you again to Crimson, Weird Beard, like everybody who has come in today just to tune in with us on the live stream as well. Thank you so much. I will be all around the event. If you find me, I will pass out some unlock codes and then some giveaways and other stuff like that.
Yeah, the fun doesn't stop here. The fun definitely is just going to continue on. There's going to be dancing in the party room. There's other exhibitors to visit. They've all added their individual activities in the schedule. Just click on each one and check out where you can go to meet other game devs. I'm sure that you're going to learn a lot, and please reach out to us and tell us what some of your favorite moments are. Even though there's going to be a break for Digicon, something else is going to fill that void. And just wait, because I got some ideas on that, and I don't think that we're going to be ending this for very long. Thank you again, Weirdbeard, Crimson. We love and adore what you guys are doing. Esports is important. The protocol, Hive Engine, is incredibly important because that's the foundation for it all. Thank you again, guys, and we're going to wrap and head to Drawn Company Takeover for the ending of the stream. We'll see you guys. That's a wrap.
Silver just put it in there. It's the GJ Blunt 420.
I have to write this?
Yeah, go put that as an unlock on your.
Oh, you guys look great.
Thank you, everybody. I love
on
you.
stage.
Goodbye.
If you go to
I think I have to end this.
Customizers and then click unlock item and put that code.
Oh,
in.
now everybody can talk.
Let me go ahead out and.
Be careful what you wish for.
Nobody's muted anymore. You guys have the full control to take over on the live stream temporarily until we get to the next room. I wanted to jump off the stage first so I could show everybody, like those big beautiful cameras while you were up on stage and your avatars were hopping in a seat as if they were sitting on a hot potato. But future podcast, Big Deck Energy. Crim, I put that down in my notes.
Right? Yeah, I was just, you started
Let's do it.
You said squirrel with nuts in your mouth.
That was falsely attributed to me. I don't know that I fully was the one that mentioned nuts in mouths.
No, I added that. That was my added flavor. That was like, that was like my pumpkin spice seasoning on top of your latte.
You heard it here. Peter's flavor is nuts in mouths.
It's I can get a few in there. I played the marshmallow challenge, and I'm not going to tell you how many I got in there, but I think it'd be pretty impressive. But literally
64
bite size.
Things I've learned not to offer up in public company.
Is numbers about anything?
Yeah, in general.
How many of those can you do? Let's not talk about that. How much of this do you have? Again, we're not going to get into specifics. I always love
the ledger. It's all open. Anything you need to know, it's in the ledger.
I love that because some of the best people that I've met, like my I like to call him Grandpa Ace, right? He's like my brother-in-law's dad. You ever ask him a question if you want to invite him to a party, and he's like, I'll think about it. He never gives you a yes or no. He never confirms. He's always like, you know what?
I'll neither confirm
I might be there. You know what? I'll think about it. You know what? Because he wants you to sweeten the deal. He always wants you to come back and say, well, we're going to have the freshest bacon that you've ever had in your life. And
I'm in.
like, okay, I'm in. Yeah.
Sold.
So that's what he wants. He wants you to sweeten the deal. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. This has really been wonderful to end the stream. Waffles, do I have your permission? Should I end it here, or did you want to close out with just some final instructions?
Right, we didn't do any live stream prizes, so I think the last bit for anybody who's listening in on the live stream, if you find me around the space, I will be able to give you unlock codes and some swag. Definitely look at all the booths, and if I see any screenshots of the venue or gifts of the venue tagging Digicon, if I like it, I will send you a prize.
If she likes it, guys. So that's the sub right there. That's the criteria. You
So
better
no hate.
make her happy.
Make it good.
Yeah.
Step it up.
Like, you must appease the Waffles kitty. And if you don't, then she will contact Elon and then put up a poll on whether or not you need to be banned or reinstated on Twitter. We'll see. We'll see how that works out. Where do you want to go next, Waffles? This is your show. This is not a farewell party. This is us planning on what's going to happen next with Digicon. It might turn into something else. It might go away altogether or be put on ice for a little while. But Splinterlands is, reassessing and licking their wounds. I won't even call that wounds. I mean, I feel like,
No.
you know,
We're
Splinterlands
just
is going to
taking a
be
step back
just
so they can take a
fine.
step forward, you know?
But, you know, they just want to make sure that they're okay. They want that buffer. They want that nice long runway. They want to continue to create for everybody. But I feel like we can still have some fun while we're in here. Inverse obviously isn't going anywhere. Digicon, you know, might be taking a break, but there's going to be something else I think that's going to fill that void.
Yes,
Because,
keep your
you
eyes
know,
peeled. Keep your eyes peeled for that. I think we can end it by heading over to Nifty Blocks.
Let's
John
go.
Company is doing a Digicon takeover.
Nifty Blocks, it's in the schedule. Just find Drawn Company, Digicon Takeover, and I will see y'all there. I'm out. Oh, look at all the assets zip in. Look at all the shoes and clothes. It's like watching Neo jump in to I guess the room, the simulation, right? Where they start to see all the weapons. They recall all the weapons or their clothes and things that they want to. All right, I'm just going to jump in here and make some noise and interrupt them.
We're all famous and we've all got yachts and stuff. This is an actual anecdote. So on the second Digicon, right, I got into trouble with some of the packs that I'd minted and I'd done it wrong. And I put a plea out on Twitter and I said, is there anybody who can help me? And that guy messaged me and he said, yes, I can help you. And it turns out he lives less than 20 miles away from me. That is not a joke at all.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. He lives in the West Midlands. Jack does, and we've met up since then. We've done we did an in real life networking event in Birmingham in September. But yeah, absolutely true story. He lives literally down the road. The only person on the planet that could help me was him, and he's from where I've been today actually. Funnily enough. But yeah. Oh, Peter's here. Nice to see you, Peter. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you,
So
friend.
there is some people that can't join the stand. Sorry.
Is the
'Cause
people
we're
that
full.
can't join the stand?
Yeah, because we're full.
We're not at the limit, are we?
No,
I don't know.
not even close.
God Mushy can't find us, and we're all there. He's seen it on our stream, but
So maybe there is 2 instances then.
yeah,
No?
he says he can't join the instance. It's full.
What's his name?
Oh, so we do have 2 instances then.
It's
Okay,
probably
Mushy.
because the other thing over there that's going on, whatever they're doing, is probably adding
yes.
to it. Yeah.
They've got a lot of people in there. But I am live streaming this if he just wants to press play on that video, if somebody wants to relay that message.
So's Kitty.
Yeah, he's up in my stream.
Oh, excellent.
So, is there anyone who could hop into the other instance to give them the link to fill out the form? Is there anyone who wants to raise their hand and do that?
Or if they're watching Kitty, maybe you won't put it in the deck.
I can go. I can go do it since I've already filled out the form.
My god, I absolutely love this young lady. So
that Survey Monkey form, right? Is
Yeah.
that in the booth?
Let me go.
So you'll have to copy those out first.
Okay.
So there's the Survey Monkey and there's the drop link.
Yeah, because you can add as many web links as you want to the Drawn Company exhibit. We will have to reload our browser in order to see it once you add it. However, or maybe
Wait,
not.
y'all fill out this form?
Okay, I'm gonna head over there real quick.
Oh, look at Cosmic! What a soldier!
I love.
Yeah, so I was about to say awesome.
I love how everybody just wants to help each other. I really think that's amazing.
Well, you have to when Digicon are in town and Kitta and we're causing all the chaos. We need some support.
Don't tell them, but I filled it out. You're up there easily. I've seen you in there easily.
You on Twitter, I saw that you were asking for a design. Some kind of, was it the kitty? Was it the Byzantine kitty? Which was it?
Me?
I can't remember. Yeah.
Oh, I wanted kitty ears. Like
the kitty. Yes, the kitty ears, like a hat. Okay.
Yeah.
I can say that I'm gonna put some energy behind that one, and we'll see if we can make that happen.
Oh my god, you'd be amazing.
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I can't promise anything. No, forgive me if it takes a little bit of time, but I'm gonna bring it up in our next, ideation brainstorm session on things that we can do, Yeah, we'll see if we can make that happen.
You're a legend. Thank
Yeah.
you.
No, I learned it from watching you.
Oh.
Sorry, I've actually got short shorts on, so if you got a flash of my legs there,
They're quite beautiful, mate.
We did promise full frontal nudity, so you gotta.
Yeah, the squirrel definitely found his nuts. Yeah.
Superb. Right, I'm going to do. Here we go. It gets highly technical, doesn't it? And fun. As I promised you, fun. I'm going to load up SurveyMonkey now and see how many people have filled out the form. But it would be unfair to do the final count now. It's really funny. I use the Works SurveyMonkey account, and I just hope to hell, because of the nature of the business that we do, that no one sends the wrong link to somebody else, because this survey is entitled The Festival of Nakedness, which wouldn't be good if it went to one of our clients.
Let's get naked.
Let's get naked, people.
I'm as
Love
naked
it.
as I can get.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no
Shorts on.
pressure here. Yeah, just keep the cameras off, and you can do whatever you want on the other end.
I'm fully dressed in real life.
You can bring your mates. You can have a party. We'll get to the dance floor. You can dance at home and get all sweaty, and no one's gonna get mad because you get a little smelly after a few hours.
How enchanting.
Yeah. I mean, Comic-Con, sometimes they hand out deodorant to the volunteers. I know we did during DreamHack. We literally had boxes of miniature deodorant bars that we had in all the volunteer break rooms, and it was mandatory. If we caught a whiff, we're like, hey, please do. You're scaring away the customers.
That's a pretty cool idea, though, because you don't want to scare the customers away.
Oh, Blue Chainsaw Man. There always has to be somebody that confirms that they participated in Digicon in the buff.
Yes. Here's the Matt anecdote for you. Don't you just love Matt anecdotes? Because I've worked in a lot of different industries, but I used to work for Games Workshop. You know, the little miniature figures that do, you might, Warhammer. Anybody heard of Warhammer?
I love Warhammer. Yeah, tabletop. I've played a bit.
Tabletop games. I'd never played the game myself, but I went for the job, and they took me on with the promise of training me up. Anyway, they never did, and I got sacked. I got sacked for having a lack of imagination. I was flabbergasted when the man told me that, but he did tell me that. Anyway, we had one guy who used to come into the store, an old bloke, and he used to take his jacket off, and I used to have to tell him to put it back on because it smelled like someone had died in there. It was disgusting. Like, I've never smelled a smell like it before. I had to get air freshener, and it was the type of smell that you get stuck up your nose, and it would stay there for weeks. It was just horrendous. So we're gonna wait 5 more minutes, and then I'm gonna select the drop. Everyone, right, who has filled out that form will get an NFT. 36 of you are gonna get the rare 3D in the drop. If you don't get that, you'll be getting the other one anyway. So yeah, man, here we go. So surveys on a Saturday night.
Well, I do have a small request.
Yeah, what's the
Kitty?
request?
Wait, Kitty, you go first.
No. Oh, I was just gonna say one of my viewers said that they used to paint Warhammer stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
We've all done it.
I haven't.
The miniatures, yeah. It's very therapeutic. I feel like I could sit and paint miniatures just to help me, eliminate all the noise in my brain and just focus on those tiny details of those miniatures. And like 5 hours would go by, and you wouldn't even realize it. You'd be so caught in the moment and the detail of painting them that I just found that very healing.
Yeah, man. It's so therapeutic. I do for therapy now. I do Lego. Like, before I started NFTs, I used to basically churn Lego. So buy a big Lego set, the biggest one I could, and then I even had at one point I had buyers who'd come from around the country because they just wanted the sets. So I'd like break them, build them, and sell them. Yeah, great cottage industry, kids, but you can't make money out of it. But you can have as much Lego as you possibly want.
Well, I'm getting ready to wrap up the live stream, and I would just like your participation. Everybody who's in here and can hear me, if we could just send some emotes, whatever they are, a clap, a thumbs up, a thumbs down. If you could just spam those for me, Thank you so much. I just want to
Can we
say
get
a
jumping as
heartfelt
well?
thank you to everyone who came out to the live stream for the main event live stream. It really means a lot. Digicon is not over. It's going to continue for the next day, open through Sunday in any time zone. It's a 3-day event. This event will be going on break, but we might have some surprises here coming up in the next few days because I think someone else might want to take on, really pass the baton, right, as you will, of the Digicon experience. And someone else might say, hey, you know what, we want to take that on and help run this. So I love you all. Thank you very much. We're going to pause the live stream there and make sure you participate in all of the scavenger hunts, right? Get on Twitter, tag Digicon, tag Gala Games, and a lot of the top sponsors. If you send those out there, it's all available on digicon.com. Just go there and check it out. But if you aren't in here, come get in. It's super easy. It's just over your browser, and you can use your phone. There's no reason why you couldn't get in and meet some of these awesome game developers and other contributors to the GameFi and Web3 gaming ecosystem. So thank you. That's my last PSA. We're going to wrap things up right here. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming to the live stream. I love you. Cheers.
Thanks, Peter. Bye.
No, it's not over for me. I got to play some music. But where is it? Where is my music? Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
There it is. Yeah, all right. Love you all. I'm going to bring in just one last time the code for the Byzantine Kitty. It's showing up on screen. So if you haven't had it previously, it's on the live stream now. That is your last chance to get this code. SPS Biz Kitty Plush 2022. They couldn't have made it any longer. My goodness.
It's so long.
But that is your chance to get the plush kitty that you can hold in your hand. And you can give it to other people who didn't get that code. And you can laugh at them because they didn't get it. And now you can share it with your friends. And say you have it, haha, you don't.
It's longer for the hat.
Yeah. The hat. All you have to do is put hat on the end of 2022. So really the joke is on all of you for not deleting hat. You would have had the handheld kitty this whole time.
What? I'm devastated.
We got you guys. Okay, anyway, all right, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Waffles, she's just taking a break. She's been going at this hard. She's just gonna go rest, and we'll be back to do this again.
She's a trooper.
She really is. She really is. All right, all of y'all, take care.